Americans to do the same to save lives.
As we enter this new moment in the battle against COVID, let's use it to start fresh as a country, to put all the old battles over COVID behind us.
He says it's about health, not politics, while calling out some in Congress who oppose more COVID funding. The 19-year-old who killed 2 people at a St. Louis high school yesterday had a notebook describing a life of isolation. Police Commissioner Michael Sack says it's critically important for people to be engaged with family members and others.
Because when we're more engaged with one another, we're more aware of what each person is going through, we can do what we can to try and seek help for them, even if that's just reporting it to authorities.
Police also confirming that gunman Orlando Harris, who had graduated from that school last year, was armed with an AR-15 style rifle and hundreds of rounds of ammunition. They're not saying how he got in after a security guard reported a man trying to get through a locked door. Stocks finish higher again. The Dow up 337 at the closing bell. America is listening to Fox News.
Oh, what's for breakfast at KFC under $3.95, you ask? What's for breakfast at KFC that's different than the other guys, you ask? KFC's chicken wrap, sausage wrap, the Colonel's chicken congee, chicken fried steak, sausage biscuit and gravy, and biscuit sandwiches made with KFC's original fluffy biscuits. All for under $3.95 and all only at KFC. Plus, with waffles and the Colonel's chicken fried rice, we've got something for everyone.
So visit KFC for breakfast today. It's finger-licking good.
Half a day. I'm Jesse Anderson Lujan. Throughout this campaign, I've been presenting my plans to reduce inflation, rebuild our tourism industry, and fight the crystal meth and crime problems plaguing our island. Our government can do more to lift the burdens facing our families. If elected, I will be ready on day 1 to get to work to help make Guam safe again and urgently rebuild our economy. I humbly ask you, please vote Jesse Anderson Lujan, number 7, Republican. I'm Jesse Anderson Lujan, and I approve this message.
Lawyers for former President Trump tried and failed to stop jury selection at his company's fraud trial.
The Trump Organization's legal team said it was the action of the judge that sparked its motion. On Monday, a prospective juror said her feelings about the former president would not allow her to be fair. In open court, Justice Juan Merchan had a talk with that woman, then dismissed her from consideration. Defense attorney Michael Vanderveen said he felt seeing that kept other prospective jurors from being honest. Justice Merchan said he didn't see that reaction. Prosecutors called the defense's claim preposterous. The Trump Organization has pleaded not guilty to tax fraud and other charges. It faces more than $1 million in fines. Gernal Scott, Fox News.
President Biden says there's not much progress on securing the release of 2 Americans jailed in Russia.
WNBA star Brittany Griner lost an appeal in a Moscow court to overturn her 9-year prison sentence for a drug charge, a sentence the Biden administration calls excessive, disproportionate, and unjust. President Biden says U.S. officials are in constant contact with the Russian government to negotiate the release of Griner and American Paul Whelan.
And so far, we've not been meeting with much positive response, but we're not stopping.
The administration has offered a prisoner swap for the Americans, similar to a deal reached to release former Marine Trevor Reed from Russian custody earlier this year.
Fox's Jared Halpern at the White House. Recapping Wall Street after back-to-back rallies, the Dow finishing up 337 today, a 6-year high, 31,836. The S&P up more than 1%. The NASDAQ up more than 2%, a gain of 246 points. This as oil prices get back to about $85 a barrel. And Lisa Brady, Fox News.
Vince Borja epitomizes determination. His family was so poor that he received his first pillow when he joined the Army. Vince went from extreme poverty to obtaining a master's degree, becoming a non-commissioned officer in the Army, working for a Fortune 500 company, and becoming an entrepreneur. Vince even gave up his job as a professor so he could run and serve his people. You cannot teach grit and determination. With Vince Borja, you don't have to. It's in his DNA. So is leadership. Vote Vince Borja for senator. Determination has a name.
My name is Vince Borja, and I approve this message.
Half a day. I'm Bisho Mendiola, and I'm running for senator to promote lower cost of living, increase our food security, and ignite new economic sector development. I will put to work my fresh ideas, my experience as a small business owner to create legislation that removes the red tape on our economic growth. I want to pave the way to a prosperous, wealthy, and self-sustainable island community. I'm Bishop Mendiola, number 13 on the Republican ballot, and I approve this message.
Guam Regional Medical City was awarded Advanced Primary Stroke Center certification from the Joint Commission. What does this mean? It means our neuroscience team is equipped with the latest technology and a team of the finest neurological doctors to treat stroke, which is one of the leading causes of death on Guam. GRMC, reflecting our commitment to providing safe and quality patient care. For more information about GRMC, visit us at grmc.gu or to make an appointment, call 671-633-GRMC.
Hafide Guam, this is Senator Amanda Shelton. The 2022 general election is right around the corner on November 8th, and early voting has begun. Curbside and in-office voting are available Tuesday through Friday from 10 to 6 at the Westin in Tumon, and Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at satellite locations until November 3rd. Please bring a valid Guam ID, and I humbly ask for the honor of one of your votes. Seduus Maasi.
Paid for by the Committee to Elect Amanda Shelton, number 6 Democrat, Johnny Cole Torres Treasurer.
Hafide and good morning, Guam. At 6:07 on Wednesday, October 26. I'm Donna De Jesus with a look at your local news on The Point. 47-year-old Raymond Martinez Jr. and 38-year-old Juanita Martinez pleaded not guilty to the charge of tampering with their jewelry in 2018 in district court yesterday. The Martinezes were arrested on Friday after a federal grand jury indicted them last week on one count of obstructing justice by trying to influence a juror to vote not guilty and to persuade other jurors to do the same. The charge is in connection with their federal drug trial in late 2018, which ended in a hung jury after jurors were unable to reach a unanimous decision on charges related to meth distribution and possession. Only 6 of the 12 jurors voted to convict. Juror in the 2018 trial, Gregorio Tekenko, pleaded guilty in 2019 to contempt of court, acknowledging he disobeyed the judge's orders, which prohibited him from discussing the case outside of the jury. He has not yet been sentenced. The Martinez couple is scheduled to stand trial on December 28 in district court. And after almost a year since the first complaint was filed, the Guam Board of Medical Examiners' investigation of sexual misconduct allegations against Dr. Ugochukwu Akoma is nearly complete. Akoma had a sexual conduct complaint lodged against him last November and another this February. Attorney Joseph McDonald, who has been handling the case alongside board member Dr. Annette David, says they have had interviews with the complainants and are looking to complete 1 to 3 other interviews within the next 30 days. McDonald says he expected to present the next actions that the board is warranted to take on Akoma's case at the following meeting. He adds that a prosecutor's memo would be presented to Dr. David to map any remaining actions to be taken, though the memo is not necessarily determinative of any further action. Akoma has a history of misconduct allegations being made against him as far back as 2007. We'll have more news after this.
Gas is expensive, so let the bank come to you. Through our remote deposit capture, you can deposit your checks into your account from your phone. And with our Dynamite Bank Pacific Visa debit card, you can use your money anytime, anywhere. It's the perfect combo.
Now we're banking on the future. Services to choose. Bank Pacific, where others put branches, we place roots.
Equal housing lender. Member FDIC. Crank it up.
Senator Telo Taitigui has introduced Bill 346 that would create a second affordable housing qualifying certificate program to encourage developers to build housing complexes with a minimum of 5 and a maximum of 25 units. Taitigui says the bill seeks to prioritize home ownership for families hoping to buy a home in today's tough housing market. Guam's new median price for a single-family dwelling reached $426,000, a substantial increase from the median price of $299,000 in pre-pandemic 2019. Data from GURA shows that there were 12,700 individuals and their families living in various GURA public housing and nearly 3,000 on the Section 8 waiting list last October. Under Guam law, developers who build at least 25 affordable housing units are eligible for incentives, including BPT, income, real property, and use tax benefits. If enacted, Bill 348 would extend these same tax benefits to eligible developers that may have fewer resources and skilled laborers, as long as they can construct no less than 5 affordable housing units. And UOG's upcoming Great Debate on November 3 may feature stand-ins for candidates who do not appear. Debate chairman Dr. Ron McNinch says Guam voters deserve to have issues debated and argued, adding that he or another faculty member will stand in for Felix Camacho or Lulian Guerrero. The team of Governor Lulian Guerrero and Lieutenant Governor Josh Tenorio pulled out of the debate and other pending joint appearances after the Republican team of former Governor Felix Camacho and Senator Tony Ada declined invitations to appear at 3 forums. Lou and Josh campaign manager Rory Respicio says the decision not to participate in the Great Debate is not a reflection of their work, but their principled stance of not allowing their opponents to choose which organizations receive a two-sided conversation. But McNinch is holding out hope that the Leon Guerrero Tenorio team will reconsider and agree to attend, noting a national trend this year to avoid or limit debates. In an email to students and media, McNinch says, "Whoever does not show up will not win this election." He adds that the UOG Great Debate is not a minor student effort and is a long-standing tradition in Guam politics. And those are your top stories right here on The Point. Now here's Ray with your weather.
No, I'm going to give my principled stance. Because that's the words that the Democrats are using. Everything they say, principled stance that we're going to be taking in this.
Sounds bladed, Ray.
So wait.
All I
Sounds
can
like a
say
bladed
is
stance.
just do it.
We're asking for their understanding and thoughtful consideration of our position and the greater impact that such a principled stance will have on the public conscience.
I don't think the public is thinking about principled stances
I don't think they just
here.
want to go what's going on. We will not stand for the favoritism, nor will we be bullied by him. I'm like, okay, this
then
is...
just say no to everything else, but not to this one.
Right, this is the problem when you start
Stop
referring
it.
to things like that as bullying here. Is there's no bullying going on. So it's like calling somebody a racist when there's not. Then everything is racist. Then everything all of a sudden is bullying, and that means that nothing is bullying. Please do not reappropriate that word for your political ends. Look, if you don't want to be in the debate because you know your side's going to lose, just say no. That's no. Because we're going to lose. That's what's going to happen in a great debate.
Then there's really, I don't know.
That's my principled stance.
You either lose by that or
having Ron
just do it.
Or having Ron McNinch go in as your proxy.
That's funny.
Yeah. So why did you do that lockdown? Why did you do that? Why did you shut down virtually all of the economy here? I don't know. Somebody at Public Health thought it was a good idea.
So if someone doesn't show up, does the media still have to cover it?
I personally, as this media guy is concerned, if half of them aren't there at the debate, then there is no debate. It's not a debate. I mean, even if you have a proxy in there, it's not a debate. You can't send Tony and Ginger in there. That's not a debate against Felix and
Oh, wow,
Tony.
really?
I'm already thinking of it, man.
I'm going to send some squatters up there to represent us, Ray. Yeah? It's only going to cost a little bit of money.
Did you pay him already?
Not yet, but we're working
Continue
on
to
it.
live across the street from... sorry. Have we started the show already? Apparently we have. Here it comes, the weather. Scattered showers and thunderstorms. Let me see if I can put this up on the weather screen so you can see what's happening out there. I don't know. We got some clouds that are moving in from that snotty weather, which is now almost due south of us right now. Partly sunny in the forecast. Daytime highs are going to be 86 degrees with a heat index. It will feel like 92. East winds 7 to 9 miles an hour. Scattered showers and thunderstorms, mostly cloudy skies and overnight lows of about 77 degrees. East-southeast winds tonight blowing 5 to 9 miles an hour. Mostly cloudy in the forecast for all day tomorrow. And Friday, they say mostly cloudy as well. Daytime highs 85 degrees. The sun rose about a minute and a half ago, and it will set tonight at 5:56. There it is. That's all the information that you need right now on the day that I will call a hump day. I will call today a hump day in exchange for your Pika's Best vote. Yes, that's all I ask of you. That's like that song. That's all I ask of you. This is from Phantom of the Opera, right? I didn't go to the Broadway. What can I say?
Nothing for something. Please vote for us.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you very much. What? At least I'm not going to lie to you. I'll not give you the same nonsense pillow talk that politicians are going to give you. This is you voting for me as Pika's best personality. That's all for me. Thank you very much. And voting for us as Pika's best, that's all for me as well. So go ahead and do this for me, and we will continue to do this kind of high-level, ultra-professional broadcast excellence that we try to bring to you at least 5 days a week. 6:15 in the morning, there's news and weather together. Brought to you by Bank Pacific, banking on the Pacific for 68 years.
Stop by Olive Garden for their never-ending pasta bowls. Available for lunch and dinner. Choose a pasta, choose a sauce for $19.99. Add a never-ending topping for $7.99. You can mix and match your refills at no extra charge. Refill again and again. Your entree comes with never-ending soup or salad and never-ending breadsticks. Promotion is from October to November 20th. Olive Garden open every day from 11 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. for lunch and 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. for dinner. Please call 671-989-0008. Portions are not available for takeout.
iPhone 14 Pro, all systems pro. Capture incredible detail with a 48-megapixel main camera. Experience iPhone in a whole new way with dynamic island and always-on display. And crash detection, a new safety feature that calls for help when you can't. Now, for a limited time, receive a $200 Visa gift card on us when you sign up for a new line with the purchase of your iPhone 14. Come into GTA today and experience the new iPhone 14 series of phones. It's all systems pro. Terms and conditions may apply. Visit GTA.net for more information. GTA, we start with you.
Check out the newest hydro and garden center to hit Guam, Crop King Hydro. We have a huge selection of plant nutrients, soils, hydroponic mediums, organic pest control pumps, plant support, tools, and so much more. Call 635-4769. 635-GROW. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 to 6 at the Dededo Satina Mall, right across from Payless and Paradise Fitness. For whatever you grow, think Crop King Hydro. Crop King Hydro. You know, last week gave us the I am your leader and steward. This week it's principled stance. That's what we're getting. It's just so many great buzzwords we're getting from the Democrats these days. Portions of the program brought to you by APL American President Lines, a global presence with a local home. Also being brought to you by the guys over at NutriWays, who want you to live a long and healthy life. Emphasis on the healthy. It's a choice. Try to find out how to make that healthy choice. Second floor of the Daily Plaza building in Dededo, or call them. The number is 864-7867. You got to put a 671 in front of it, so do that. 864-7867.
The Ray Gibson Show. Morning talk that matters. Call now. 888-TALK. That's 888-8255.
Because Real Joe, when you dial out to somebody on the gizmo here, do you have to put a 1 in front of it?
No, I don't think so.
Well, your system
but I
is
gotta
connected
press send.
to...
It's a digital system.
Yeah, it's
I gotta
digital.
press
But if you're
send.
old school landline,
Like copper wire coming to the house.
Like GTA, like back when it was
Like
Guam
rotary?
Telephone Authority, no, you still have to dial 1 first. That's a landline, like a real landline.
Like a real landline,
Not a
copper.
digital, yeah.
Okay, so 1671, like
Yeah.
888-8255.
And I found that out because I decided to use my landline one day, and then it wouldn't go.
Were you okay?
through.
Was it an emergency? Did you?
No, I don't know why I used it.
You have
but I used it.
like a regular
phone?
phone? Do you have like a regular phone that's attached by a wire to the?
Yes.
Wow.
It's still
You
exact.
gotta still know how to make calls, though.
I guess
People
so.
freaked out when WhatsApp freaked out a little bit yesterday.
Oh my God!
Oh, you can't call somebody up anymore?
Oh my
Gotta
God!
Send an emoji?
No. Here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. So yesterday, I told you yesterday that iOS 16.1 came out for the iPads and iPhones.
Think that's why?
I upgraded every iPad and my iPhone. I upgraded everything yesterday to iOS 16.1. And then even my laptop, my Apple laptop, I upgraded it to Ventura. Aura, I think is the name of the new OS. Very,
Say
very
you're
cool.
a nerd without saying you're a nerd.
Exactly right. Exactly right.
And then
so
what?
I'm all done, and I'm leaving the house, and the last note I get is something from Shelly, and I responded to it, and then I got to the bar at Carabao because I was meeting some friends from my Bible study.
Of course, yeah.
Are you serious?
Prayer group.
My prayer group, yes. Or, I don't know, fantasy football league or something like that. But it was a meet, which is just as absurd as me meeting people from my Bible study. But anyway, I'm looking at the thing going, how come she didn't respond back to my response to her on the sibling chat? And it, was it kind of innocuous? We're just talking about some old police officer and former captains that are now going back to work at the Guam Police Department.
That's right, guy.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's why he's on the list, right? That's why I put him on the list. So anyway, and I thought, well, this is crazy. So I sent out a couple of other texts, and I'm not getting the gray thing. All I'm getting is the gray clock. And I thought, oh my God, I upgraded, and now my WhatsApp doesn't work.
No, well, I didn't upgrade, and it still didn't work.
So
I thought it was the end of the world.
Exactly. When you can WhatsApp somebody,
something's going down.
I'm going, oh my God, somebody at Adeloop is going to need my advice on something, and they're not going to be able to get a hold of me. So naturally, I checked every other messaging service available to me, and they were all working. So I was able, normally it's like Instagram is just, chicks that are trying to get me to follow their OnlyFans page.
Yeah.
So I was going back and forth
requests.
with it just to make sure that messaging service worked. Messenger on Facebook was working.
Yeah, that's what
The
we
texting,
use.
everything else was working except WhatsApp. Did we get an answer on that? And who do we complain to?
They just said that it was down. They didn't say why, and it was down everywhere.
So there's a
Yeah,
website.
even in the UK.
There's a website.
Yeah, the UK, India, everywhere.
Planet-wide, right?
Yeah.
Well, this is what I know about WhatsApp from guys that are like super, even nerdier than all three of us combined, is that these guys are probably the most hacked web messaging tool, whatever tool
It's
app on
encrypted,
the,
Ray.
on
It's
the internet.
encrypted.
But doesn't
Come on, man.
Facebook own or Meta?
Meta owns everything.
Yeah, but like, have you ever noticed, like on your WhatsApp, the web, right? WhatsApp web. Do you use that? Have you ever noticed how often it says, "Hey, we've got an upgrade. Please update the WhatsApp web." It's because there are more people that are trying to get in there and hack their way into what basically are our messages. And you might be going, "Yeah, this is kind of innocuous stuff, harmless," with the Shelley talking about our old cop buddies that are going back on the force, which is great because they'll never pull us over. But like that, but there are other people that are trading other higher level secrets, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like who's going to be proxy for Lou and Josh at the debate.
It's the hello, how are you messages that bother me.
Oh, I like those.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hello, how are you?
Who
I'm
asks
sorry.
that? No one asks, how are you?
So you should always respond with, "Excuse me, I just finished my rosary. I just finished my novena. Can I get back to you a little bit later on?" That's how you answer all of that stuff. Anyway, 6:22 in the morning. We survived the WhatsApp outage of 6:43 to, I'm sorry, wait, was it 5:15 to 6:43 yesterday afternoon? All right, very, very good. What else is going on around here besides all of that? Some interesting stuff floating around in the front page of the newspapers. But I'm mad. I'm arg. I'm having an arg moment.
Yeah, you're angry.
You know
man.
why?
I
You
can
know why I'm
tell.
angry? Face is red here. The reason why I'm angry is because they're not taking my advice over at any of the newsrooms and newspapers. What did I say yesterday should be the front page, top of fold story in every newspaper on Guam, even Pacific Island Times?
Yeah.
What did I? You don't remember what I said?
I have no idea, Rich. Man, yesterday was
That is kind of
today's
a
a gift. Tomorrow's
Landon and Brandon Idlet.
Oh, that's right.
Getting a not one, two world records established by the Guinness
I saw
people.
it, though, on all the... Well, I can't tell online which one is top story, but they're all there.
Well, I didn't see it in the Post. Did the Post even write about it today? It's not in the printed version. I didn't see it in the
wait,
printed version.
I think only KOAM and PDN.
Right, so PDN has it, but PDN has it like page 9 or something like that. I'm thinking, oh my God, this is a Herculean task. It's not like we get in the Guinness Book of World Records every day.
Has anybody else from Guam gotten a Guinness World Record?
Nissan did a couple of years ago. We did, not using the
you
paper.
mentioned
I was
that.
actually in it. I was in a Nissan, and the idea was we were going to have the longest parade of Nissan automobiles around the world. Now there was an outfit
like a motorcade or something.
Like a motorcade, but it had to be an unbroken line of this many vehicles.
Like a funeral.
No, it wasn't. It was a little bit
It's a
more
celebration.
festive. It was festive.
You're so
But you
dark
know,
this
no,
morning.
I'm going to a funeral right after this. Why do you think I have makeup on?
Well, nobody can see your makeup
Well,
because you're
that's good.
hiding behind the microphone.
I'm just
as
telling you
usual.
because you can see me.
Okay, gotcha. Anyway, 6:25 in the morning. So much going on, and we got a lot to get to. So we'll start with all of these people that you are probably going to see at your funeral later on.
Sometimes you wanna go where everybody knows your name. And they're always glad you came. You wanna be where you can see our troubles are all the same. You wanna be where everybody knows your name. You wanna go where people know people are all the same. You wanna go where everybody knows your name.
Are you singing? You're singing. I can hear you sing. Oh, it's so, it's so
Yeah, I
pretty.
can.
It's like singing at church. I'm sorry it came out wrong when I said people you might see at your funeral. I wasn't referring to your funeral, the one that you're going to be attending a little bit later on. Sorry about that. Hope nobody misinterprets anything. 6:25 in the morning of the Ray Gibson Show. So who is it? Number one today, it's my Auntie Bennett Lujan Duenas from Family Finance. Good to have you there in lead position here this morning in the parade of listeners. Charles Craw coming in saying, Habade and Maganda Maga Point fam. Good to have you there, big man. Rico Blancaflor. And Nate Horn is online with us. Tony Uggan saying, hi, everything. How are you to pine out? We are all very good today. Harvey Egna. I got Benidosu Tautau online. How about, dude, is today the day? Is today the big download today over in the house, right? Well, I mean, you're not in the house. Hopefully you'll be like with a doctor or something like that. Benidosu Tautau is expecting, I think, baby boy. I think it's baby boy today. All right, we're all waiting. Les Nod goes, John. Yes,
Get the hot towels ready.
Yeah. Mendoza Tautau in catcher position. Okay, come on, squeeze him out. Squeeze out that baby.
Stat.
Mendoza Tautau. John Ray Titan who's online. I got Brad Wood and let me see. There's Tony again. Dennis Benzer. Yes, referring to one of the Fox News stories, they were talking about an AR-style rifle. I'm sorry, what do you mean AR-style? It either is kind of or it isn't.
Yeah,
you know,
it's fashionable.
And
Style.
you know, here's the other thing. No two are exactly alike. You get these guys that get into these guns, and the idea is we're going to hack it. It's like dudes with a Harley, right? The only day the Harley looks
Every
factory
accessory.
is the day you drive it off the
Humdinger
lot.
and doodad.
Exactly.
Bells and whistles and.
There's something that looks good with my leathers. They do the same thing with ARs and those kinds of guns. Jose Tetpa, go online. Good to see you, my friend. Brennan Fausto says, let's go, Ray Gibson Show. You got this. I don't know if I've got another 3.5 hours of great, excellent broadcasting in me this morning. We'll all have to find out together. Let me see. Keenan McCausland online here this morning. As I said, Rudy Rodolfo, the original Burger King, hanging out with us. And a reminder that he and all of his guys and girls over at Burger King are in the running in Pika's Best. So please seek them out in a variety of categories. And please give them a vote. What's that? Jerome McDowell says, good morning. Have a day to everybody. Enjoy your Tuesday morning. Anybody want to tell him?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's not Tuesday here on Guam. It's we've actually made it. We've made it to Wednesday. FJB, let's go, Brenda. Brenda says Jose Ted Pago. Keenan, let's go, Brenda. That's sweet. Bota from Keenan McCausland. All right, I got you. Juanita Machi is doing her wavy thing this morning. Let me see. Valerie S.A. Untalan. Good morning to Jay Nauta. Okay, got to scroll down while I make that noise. Dennis Larson online. Dennis Larson up a little bit earlier this morning to give me an idea of what I could look forward to as I do my Wordle. And Wordle beat me yesterday. Wordle,
bad?
It was I don't know. It probably would have taken me 8 guesses of the 6 that you're actually allowed.
Anymore?
I don't know. Ooh, Donna says Jose Tetpago. Tim Zedeker, good morning to, let me see, beautiful Sarita Garin, who is reminding us today that John F. Kennedy High School's parent-teacher conference starts at 7 until noon. Wake up the parents. You've got to be there for the kids. Listen, what do we need to do to get you involved? I mean, I'm sure.
Be present, man.
I'm sure I'm talking to a lot of parents and guardians and whatever that are already extremely involved in everything, every facet of their child's education. But there are others. And just wondering, what is it that we need to do? Do we have to hit you over the head? Do you realize how far behind COVID-19, the pandemic, and the idiotic response that we gave to COVID-19 has set back your kids' education? They're talking not in terms of months now. They're saying that the kids are so far behind. They're they're calculating it in years. So if you've got a kid that was a freshman in high school when all of this started, they're graduating this year, but it is possible that they're graduating with about enough updated learned knowledge now that sophomores had before the COVID-19 experience. That's what they're talking about. English and reading and mathematics skills absolutely in the toilet. You need to go talk to your parents, your students, your kids' teachers, and find out how we're going to close that gap. Rapido. Jose Tetpago, a coma is a predator, period. Okay, good idea. Let's go karaoke on Friday, says Rico Blancaflor. Might not be a bad idea. You don't forget about parent teachers. Let's just go sing. Cheryl Ochai online. My bro Alan Baldwin says, morning, the point, Team Pika's best. Thank you, bud. Appreciate that. Run, Forrest, run, says Charles Crow with regard to the parent-teacher conference. I don't even know why Sarita's going. I don't even know why, because Mandy's like...
Great kids, yeah.
Mandy, yeah, she's a great kid, straight-A student, super involved in everything. You know, Mandy's the cut kid. When the teacher leaves the room, they put Mandy in charge.
Yes.
I don't know why Sarita has to show up for that. Joanne Titano saying good morning to everybody. Harvey Egna, the price of land is the same whether you built $400 or $800,000 house on it. Good point. Brendan Fausto saying, let's go, sister. Long-standing position. Could that be why we go in circles? Says Benidoso Tata. Must be talking about the debate conversation. Joey Kitchitsu online. Mark and Francis Ismail is there. Gerald Young saying good morning to everybody. Lena McDaniel is checking in. Brendan Fausto talking about the parent-teacher conference saying, it's the belt. It's the belt time.
Oh, God, I remember the belt.
Well, it was the phrase that every teacher told my mom every year. A, the boy talks too much. B, he's actually pretty smart. He would
disruptive.
be if only he applied himself. If only he applied himself to his studies. But otherwise, you know, the kid's looking for jokes all the time, and you know, it's just I was that kid. Can't you tell? Ginger the carpetbagger, says Harvey. Yeah. Well, I mentioned Ginger and Tony. That's why. Okay, Dennis Larson, let me see, is online. He says, Lou and Josh are done for. Biba Felix. Sarita says, Brendan Fausto, no need for the belt. My firm voice works just fine. They never make me start counting anymore. Oh, that's all. And she does it in Tagalog when she's giving the kids, when she's disciplining the kids. Mandy, Isa. Dalawa. You don't need to make it. You don't need to make it to 3, which is good, because I don't know what 3 is in Tagalog. Daryl Taggarty's online saying good morning to Pika's best host and mavens. Vivian Castro Leon. Carl Meyer saying good morning from Sacramento. Fall is here. 40s at night, 70s daytime. The amazing hot sister. The program, Pam Duvall, is listening. Mark Voigtland, Bandits there. Let me see who else is on. Bill Petit, Mark Voigtland checking in from the free zone. That's always nice. Marla Carbolito Castro and Carlene Harker. Alfredo Mendoza. Then Jose Martinez, let me see, says, I was in a Nissan at that motorcade. Jose, then you were also part of the record break-in that we did here on Guam that we've got to be proud of. Marie Babauta Balbin is there. Scott K. Armstrong, Henry Manglotnia, and Doris Doug Mitchell. That's actually a couple. Her middle name is not Doug.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, it's Doris and Doug Mitchell.
What are all these people doing here?
I don't know. Looking to see what brilliance we're going to get out of Kenley and Guerrero today. This is Red Queen avoiding the debates because she can't defend the undefendable, like keeping Lalu land in Magilao instead of returning it to the landowners. Anthony Quintanilla, Marie Rojas. Rarely do we meet parents we need to see. Good point there, Teach. Mark and Francis Ishmael. Today we are doing our school picture day after 2 years of not having our school photo for Temple Baptist Christian School. Way to go. I can appreciate that.
Did you ever do the funky smile for your school pictures?
I may have a copy of it.
Paid expensive money for?
Yeah, seventh grade.
You look like crap.
Oh, Keaton.
Hair's a mess. Yeah, stains on your shirt.
Yeah. So that was the one that I kept. Mom made me go and get a replacement, but that's the one that I kept. John Infant. Hey, John is saying good morning, Point, best radio station, Mike Grace Blas. And Tattoo Shauna is online. Tattoo Shauna, no doubt, wondering the condition of the fresh tattoo that I got.
It's healing up nicely, right?
I
hope so.
It's scabbed up.
Oh.
It's still kind of scabby, and I'm doing everything I can not to scratch like hell.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I'll
it's
pick
not
it for you, man.
Some of the where the scabs came off This is an interesting breakfast conversation, right? You put the scab on some toast. With some butter. Don't make me talk about reptiles in front of you. But anyway, so it's coming off like a little bit of dandruff, and it's neat because the color, once the scab comes off, the color that was there originally is still there, which is good news because I thought I might have screwed it up by being out in the sun on Sunday. Just saying, Tattoo Shauna. We'll see what happens. They do, like after 2 weeks, there's maintenance. Like when you get a new car, it's like you get a new tattoo, just come back after a couple of weeks, and we'll just see if it needs a tune-up or, whether you broke the engine or something like that. Anyway, 6:35. Wait. Francis Ellis on like Tattoo Shauna says, "Oh my God, people are eating." You're egging me on here. You're egging me on. This is there's nothing.
How's your breakfast?
Exactly. Just, it's doing that
crispy bacon.
Sister things. Doing. It just makes me want to do it more when you chide me and scold me now. 6:36 on Ray Gibson Show. Lots to talk about. The table of contents actually kind of full. There's going to be the newsy stuff. There's going to be the interesting stuff. We got Ocho coming in at 9. That's wait, he's got a real name.
Ernest Ochoco.
Thank you.
The amazing Ernest.
But now I've got Ocho in my head. Anyway, Ernest is going to come in a little bit later on. They were going to do Little Shop of Horrors, and then COVID hit. And then we were hit with the little Public Health of Horrors and ridiculous COVID-19 Shop of Horrors. Yes. Horrors.
It's so hard to say.
But they still have the license for it, so they're thinking, okay, well, let's go ahead and do this. He'll be in about 9 o'clock this morning. We'll talk about the players. Now, are they accepting are they looking for people to cast it and crew it? Are we at that stage, or are we at
looking
production?
For everything.
Okay, so all right, so at the very beginning of this.
Yes.
And the song remains the same. If you are performing in this Little Shop of Horrors, then if you go anywhere else, you can say, I was in the Shop of Horrors on Guam, and I ought to be able to perform in your stateside version of it, up to and even including Broadway.
Yeah, because it's licensed by MTI.
Let's do it, you and me, Ray.
What's that?
Do it, bro. You could be the plant.
We could be in the Little Shop of Horrors.
They need a Barry, though.
What?
Joe could do it.
Who?
A baritone for the plant.
Yeah. I could be the plant.
I like it. I like it. There's
They could smoke
you just need to do voiceover.
When you make that voice, don't look at me in the eyes, okay? All right. Okay. We've got to get the show started. All right. So we'll yak about what's in the table of contents on the other side of news and headlines with Donna D. Donna, what happened?
40-year-old Jefferson Daniel was arrested for stealing from a gas station store and resisting arrest. Court documents state that Daniel stole a can of Spam, corned beef, and 2 bottles of wine. Daniel denied stealing anything before trying to pull away from the arresting officer. He was arrested following a brief struggle with authorities and faces charges of resisting arrest, retail theft, and public drunkenness. And Guam's unemployment rate has dropped to 4.8%. The drop was recorded in June and represents the lowest unemployment rate since the start of the COVID-19 pandemic. The report also shows that over 50,000 people did not want a job. In December 2020, the rate was 19.4%. Labor chief economist Gary Hiles says the island's economic recovery has accelerated substantially in recent months, adding that tourism and construction are picking up. And registration is open for Triple J's Family Bubble Color Run. The races are set for Saturday, November 12, with an early morning showtime at 5:15 and a go time of 5:45 for the 10K and 6 o'clock for the 5K. Runners can register at all Triple J locations and at Goody's Sporting Goods. Registration fee before race day is $10 for the 5K, $15 for the 10K, and group rates are available. On race day, it's $15 for the 5K and $20 for the 10K. Free T-shirts to the first 2,000 runners who register at Triple J locations. And those are your local headlines on The Point. Now back to Ray.
All right, gotcha.
You're going to that one, right?
Which one?
This run.
Oh, I don't,
bubble run.
I don't know. I was just looking at that the other day.
The color run. I liked it better when it was a color
did
run.
the last one of those that I did. I ran the 10K, and I'm reminded now. I was a little bit disappointed because they didn't have the same kind of awards for 10K runners that they did for the 5Ks.
What was it?
So it's like for the 5K runners, they got the first, second, third place.
Yeah.
But for the 10K runners, you only got the first place. I think that's what it was. I remember being, because I'm pretty sure I came in second or third in the 10K. Plus, the other thing about running 10Ks, this is me just being a little girl about it, it's
quite an achievement. Give us our second and third place.
Right, so, but the other part is like you're running the 10K and you're hauling ass, and then you hit the turnaround, you come back, and then you get caught up in a bunch of the slower 5Kers that are running in the same route, and it's difficult. There it is. You've been running at your 10K pace, and all of a sudden you hit a bunch of people that are strolling, and you're like, okay, got to get around. So it actually causes you time. And I don't know how to get out from under it. It's just one of those kinds of things. Might even be some paperwork around here. I saw Richard Taitagui come by the office yesterday to drop off some paperwork for a Guam Running Club event. More on that a little bit later on. In the meantime, sorry, got to talk fast because we got a whole heck of a lot of commercials that we've got to play for you. Everybody in the world asking for your vote, but unlike ours, which is, it's inconsequential whether or not I'm the best radio personality or the best radio station, these guys are actually trying to get your vote so they can make Guam again.
Hafa I'm Amanda Shelton. It's been my greatest honor to serve as your senator. We've been able to accomplish so much during this time for our Manamku and our Manhoban, and as we turn the corner of the pandemic, I remain inspired by our island's strength and will continue serving in ways that uplift and empower our people. I humbly ask for one of your votes this election. Seduas Maasi.
Paid for by the committee to elect Amanda Shelton, number 6 Democrat, Johnny Cool Torres Treasurer.
iPhone 14 Pro, all systems pro. Capture incredible detail with a 48-megapixel main camera. Experience iPhone in a whole new way with dynamic island and always-on display. And crash detection, a new safety feature that calls for help when you can't. Now, for a limited time, receive a $200 gift card on us when you sign up for a new line with the purchase of your iPhone 14. Come into GTA today and experience the new iPhone 14 series of phones. It's all systems pro. Terms and conditions may apply. Visit GTA.net for more information. GTA, we start with you.
Family Finance has been serving the people of Guam since 1959, and they will continue to be there for you in the years to come. Whether you're looking to get a personal loan for that summer vacation or paying off those long overdue bills, Family Finance has got you covered. Apply for a personal loan from $1,000 up to $4,100 by calling Family Finance in Hagåtña at 671-475-4545, Upper Tumon 671-647-5626, or in Dededo 671-633-4473.
A cat has 9 lives. Baseball gives us 9 innings and 9 players on the field. Greek mythology introduced us 9 muses. A stitch in time saves 9. Everyone wants to dress to the nines or have the whole 9 yards. And happiness is found on cloud 9. This election, please vote number 9, Attorney Thomas Fisher for Senator on the Republican ballot.
I'm Thomas Fisher, and I approve this message.
Drake Diaz, Treasurer.
Oh, yeah, traffic time. Hold on a second. I got to take care of something. My cousin Teddy, Teddo sent me a thing this morning. His cousin apparently was in the GPA GWA parking lot out in Back Road yesterday, and somebody's second Melania his Jeep.
No.
Yeah. There's the Jeep 2000. Well, I get you more details on it. That's what it looked like before it was stolen. And this one here is the one with some information. Be on the lookout for 2001 2-door Jeep Wrangler 4x4 soft top stolen from GWA GPA on the 25th. 3 guys in a gray low rider, no tailgate on it. 3 guys in a gray low rider.
Typical Ray.
Yeah, I know. That's your typical second millennia vehicle. Hopefully, you're able to get this thing back. I think that's terrible. You know what? You get guys and their Jeeps. I mean, people don't. I'm not just, what do you drive? I drive a Jeep. No. I'm a Jeep guy, right?
Yeah,
or I'm a Jeep.
they wave at
Jeep
each
girls.
other.
Oh my God, Jeep girls. So hot.
True.
All right. So I'm just saying, be on the lookout for it. If you see it, get a hold of me or find cousin Teddo up in Jigo, and they'll take care of the rest. All right, here it comes, the traffic for you, early morning traffic, and it doesn't look so bad. Let me just zoom in and see what's going on. Anderson Air Force Base, where they are on the lookout for a 2001 2-door Jeep. Southbound Marine Corps Drive looking pretty good here. Not even a whole lot of intersection traffic. Don't think we'll see much at Ukadu because it's a high school and they're in parent-teacher conference mode. So maybe traffic a little bit later on. What else do we have? Just intersection traffic most of the way down into the Tamuning and the Ganya area. Just a note. Could the Agana mayor redo the Tamuning mural on Marine Corps Drive? You know, the one just before you get to Rates and Oreos, Guam, and American flag?
Yes.
Yeah, there's another mural. Hard to see because it's just, it really needs some work. And I think at this point, yeah. So I think it was the Agana mayor painted it, but I'm told, according to guys that know where the boundaries are, that mural's actually in Tamuning.
Oh.
And
Fist fight.
Yeah, I remember.
I
remember the Tamuning mayor making a big deal about it a few years ago. Hey, thanks very much for painting a mural in my village. I like it so much. Don't see too much else. Downtown, in on Route 8, in on Route 4, you're not going to have any major problems. Just a little bit of traffic as usual over at Big Navy. 644. Be right back.
There are billions of dollars worth of opportunities knocking on Guam's doors right now. New jobs, higher wages, improved quality of life for all Guamanians. If Jim Moylan is not elected to this Congress, these opportunities will be lost, gone. Why? Ask Jim's opponent what her stance is on the military buildup. You probably will not like her answer. Let Jim lead us into a better future. This November, vote James Moylan to U.S. Congress.
I'm James Moylan, and I approve this message. Come try Guam's original Chamorro restaurant with Pica's Best 5 years running. Mezcla Chamorro Fusion Bistro. Experience Chef Peter's candied salmon over scallion coconut rice, octopus to naktak, Chamorro platter, and their award-winning gourmet hamburgers. Or if you're looking for something healthy, try their keto-friendly menu. Come and enjoy Mezcla's half-a-day service at their Hagana and Grand Plaza Tuman location. Call their Hagana location at 479-2652 for reservations.
Congratulations to public school teachers who received a raise this year. The increase was long overdue and well-deserved. It is just unfortunate that it had to become an election tactic of the current administration. As it was during Governor Camacho's tenure, we will make schools safe, secure, and conducive for learning for our students. No pandering, no vote buying, just prioritizing our island's children. It's time for a new season.
I'm Felix Camacho.
I'm Tony Adda.
We approve this message.
Half a day, I'm Frank Blas Jr. As a senator, I know full well the responsibility of having the weight of your worries on my shoulders. I also accept that I'll have to make decisions that are right but aren't popular. What matters is I do my best for you. This election, I ask for just one of your votes so I can continue to work on what concerns you most. I'm Frank Blas Jr., #1 Republican, and I thank you for listening. Paid for by Friends for Frank, Dave Morcilla, Treasurer.
Gotcha. 6:46 in the morning. I'm frustrated. But I'll get to why. I'll tell you in a few minutes why I'm in a good mood. But otherwise, I'm frustrated because I can't remember the name of it. We gave them such a line of crap for this when it came out. Remember a few months ago there was one of these military exercises, and it had just the weak toastest name in the whole wide world. I mean, it sounded like white bread. It just come on, guys, can we get something exciting?
Dancing Bear, I think it was.
We got exercises like Cope North, the Valiant Shield, Sea Dragon, Horny Eagle.
Yeah.
I just threw that last one in there.
What?
Yeah. there's an admiral out there listening right now going, oh, it's that one.
I'd buy
and
it.
the Air Force guys have said, no, we want to be the whatever eagle he said. But then they had like this super weak toast one, and the reason why I bring it up is we got another one coming up, but I can't remember what the name of the super weak sounding name was. Was it like Operation Painful Hangnail or Super Red Sunburn, or I can't remember. If you remember, do me a favor, hit us up on the meme machine, 797-8255, 797-8255. In the meantime, start thinking about what you're having for breakfast. Wake up your sweet tooth at Wendy's. Here on Guam, we've got the home-style French toast sticks. Fresh, it's the stuff good mornings are made of. Wendy's Guam, new French toast sticks are made with real eggs, dipped in milk custard with there it is, there's the hint of vanilla. You can almost smell it. Available in 4-piece, 6-piece, or a 6-piece combo with seasoned potatoes and a refreshing cold brew iced coffee. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's.
It's the Ray Gibson Show. Morning talk that matters. Call now. 888-TALK. That's 888-8255.
No, I can't take the pressure. Talk that matters. Well, it matters to me. It matters to me. What's the show about? Well, it's about 4 hours long. Dennis Larson talking about a scab sandwich. Sounds good, doesn't it, buddy? Did you see the picture I put up? Dennis Larson sent me this. This is so cool. I think we need to make a Christmas card out of this because this is a Christmas tree, right? It's a Christmas tree with a little rainbow behind it.
Oh, it's the best Christmas tree.
It's the best one ever. Thanks very much. Dennis Mesman online. Let me see who else is playing around with me. I got Mike Grace Blas, Rico B, Harvey Egna, Joey Kitsutu, Kevin Kinata. Hey, bro. Former Governor Carl T.C. Gutierrez online.
Bring back the sunshine. Bring back that sunshine. He's bringing back that sunshine. Uncle Carl Gutierrez brings it every time.
Wait a second. Donna's going, ooh, what happened?
Nothing important. I just forgot that I didn't finish one article.
A thing. Okay, gotcha. Well, we don't have to do another newscast here for another 15 minutes or something like that. Anyway, a lot of people coming up with excuses on why the Red Queen is not going to be showing up at the debate. Norma Jean Flores is online. Something about still no tomatoes there. Okay. Oh, wait a second. I just did something I shouldn't have done. I'll try to get over it. So, the reason why I'm frustrated, I was a little bit angry about the Idlet brothers not being on the front page of the newspapers this morning, but I will tell you one of the reasons why I'm in the happy place. Are you ready?
Why?
I'm wearing corduroy pants. What? Yes, these are look at that corduroy pants. They get their little stripy things, and everybody says
matches your shirts.
That's the idea, is to find something. Yes, so I don't know
autumn style.
Why? Look,
it's so 1980.
I'm on a quest to bring back some of that stuff. I'm on a quest to bring back acid wash jeans, among other things that need to come back. But you know what? I'm not the only one. Somebody was publicizing a get together, one of these Halloween parties with like an 80s, 90s theme, and that's what they called it, acid wash. It was going to be an acid wash party. So at least the concept is getting out there. There are pictures of me floating around where I'm wearing my puka shell necklace. I want to bring that back. Hard to find the original, because when you go to Amazon and search for puka shells, what you get is like shell fragments that are like circular, and then they drill a hole through the middle of them. That's not the original puka shells. Tremel. We used to go. I want to say we used to go up to Tengisan, Hilaan back in the day, where you could get the actual puka, the shell that the real puka shells were made of, is like the bottom of an actual sea creature or something like that. Yeah. And you drummed a hole into it, and then they were popular before the Sinahis. They were popular. Yes, yeah. And unlike Sinahis, white guys could wear puka shells. If you're a white guy, probably it's hard to pull that off. Yeah, just saying. Pass. Anyway, so I'm trying to bring all of that stuff back, and I was in front of the Amazon a couple of weeks ago, and was looking for corduroy shorts like we used to wear, like skateboard shorts from back in the day. Couldn't find those, but I did find a pair of long pants corduroys, and so I bought them, and they came in the other day, and I can't tell you how excited I was to do this. So and Greg Fausto, bell bottoms and platform shoes. Okay, I'll do the bell bottoms. You do the platform shoes, because I never look good in those kinds of things, and always worried about falling down. You remember when the Japanese tourists, there was a craze for a while where the Japanese ladies would come out here and they'd wear these huge platform shoes, and I want to say that was good business for the emergency room at Guam Memorial Hospital for a while. Even better than delivering babies. 6:52 in the morning on the Ray Gibson Show. 888-8255, 888-TALK. Items in the table of contents this morning. Well, I got the all-in guys doubling down on the debate. Front page of today's Guam's Daily Post. This got me laughing. I was at the gas station, and it got me laughing this morning as I looked at it. It said, UOG debate may feature stand-ins for the candidates. Now, it seems to me that Felix and Tony have already said that, we're going to go. We're all about the debates when we're not actually out canvassing and trying to get votes in the village and concentrating on our other campaigns. It's not like we got, every Tom, Dick, and Harry that wants to have a debate gets a debate. Don't you think? Yeah. And it is also possible that they are noting a certain bias in the media, and perhaps some bias in the part of the organizers of these debates. And I taught Felix many years ago, you don't go into a room unless you can handle and unless you can control the temperature, the frequency, the gravity in that room. If you cannot do that, then maybe either don't go or send somebody else. So if you are going into a debate situation with people that you feel might be not in your best interest, not running parallel to your thoughts, desires, and dreams, then boogie. Go someplace else. I'm trying to bring that word back as well.
Boogie.
Yeah, boogie. Along with, I've been working on groovy for like 2 decades, and it's still not getting any kind of traction. At any rate, so front page now. So this is going to be the salvation now of the University of Guam's great debate is to have Ron McNinch come in and be a surrogate, be a proxy for whoever doesn't show up. I like Ron. But that ain't as sexy as getting Lulian Guerrero and Josh Tenorio in, though, in there, mixing it up. You know, what do we call it? Demolition Derby style with Felix and Tony. And, you know,
in the clinch, man.
You know, you just want to go in there and see what's going to happen. You want to watch that little preliminary dance. Everybody's up. They're shaking hands, and we're going to be real nice. You just got to tap each other on the first couple of questions and then wait and see. Or
draws first blood.
Yeah, and who would draw first blood? Ron McNinch, for all of his great speaking capabilities or whatever, is not the kind of person who is going to draw blood in a debate, right?
Oh, no.
So yeah, whoever doesn't show up. If Ron's your proxy, you're going to lose the election. Now, here's the thing, and I kind of agree with Ron on this. I didn't hear Lou say she's not showing up to any of these debates. I didn't hear Josh say, yeah, it's terrible about Felix dropping out of these debates. I don't think we're going to debate him ever. You know what it's coming from?
Yeah.
Rory. It's coming from Rory. Now, I like Rory, and I like what he's doing over at the Port. I think he's doing a great job over at the Port. But I think you are not working in Lou and Josh's best interest if you are going. This is not the hill to die on, Rory. This is not the hill to die on when it comes to the gubernatorial politics. They need to be in this debate, if for no other reason to give me something to talk about the morning after. They need to be in this debate. I'm with Ron McNinch on this. You win the debate, you're going to win the election. But if they're not there, there's a very good chance that everybody's going to say, yeah, take your principled stance. Isn't that a song by Nana Cherry from the 1990s? Buffalo Stance.
No, it's Buffalo Stance.
Thank you very much. Sometimes the DJ comes back. The DJ just finds his way. Roy Respicio, the incumbent campaign manager, expressed his appreciation for the organizers of the upcoming UOG debate and said the decision not to participate is not a reflection of their work, but rather the campaign's principled stance. Principled standing Democrats, of not allowing their opponents to pick and choose which organizations receive a two-sided conversation. Well, in this case, it's not your opponents picking and choosing. This is something that has been a part of the political landscape on Guam in many cases, at least a generation of voters that have come and gone since then. This is not picking and choosing. And in fact, one of the few places where I think we all agree there is no bias whatsoever. None whatsoever among the students, the people that organized this, the people that are asking the questions. We will not be forced to debate only in those venues where our opponent decides he is comfortable. A governor must be fair to all of the people, even the unvaccinated.
Even them. Oh, that's us, right?
I'm waiting. You remember when you and everybody were eating inside the restaurants and I was outside with the flies and the mosquitoes and the weather? Yeah, that's being fair to everybody. We'll not stand for the favoritism, nor will we be bullied by him. This type of behavior should never be tolerated by anyone, especially those enrolled in the public administration master program. Tony, I know you're listening. Ginger, I know you're listening. Not appearing at the debate is a huge mistake. You've got just a few days to correct this. There might be some butt hurt on Rory's side when you guys go, okay, guess what? You've been overruled. We're going anyway. There might be some of that stuff, but otherwise you gotta make sure that they're there. We're asking for their understanding and thoughtful consideration of our position and the greater impact that such a principled stance will have on the public conscience. Now, it's possible that the students at the University of Guam might not necessarily be as butthurt as they could be over this, because another story that is floating up in one of the other newspaper, the Pacific Daily News, and oh, by the way, for those of you that pay attention, the toner shipment came in, ladies and gentlemen. We are now printing in. We're now printing in 4-color process ink. That's so great. I'm so happy for you guys. And so what have we got here? People in the newspaper trying to figure out how we're going to eat for the week. But anyway, another story: UOG tuition hike possible. You remember yesterday when I was saying how disappointed I was that I was wrong and we're not hearing a whole lot of poetry slams and protest because of the Supreme Court not taking on the insular cases? Yeah, that apparently is not...
Racist insular cases?
I'm sorry, racist insular cases. That apparently is not going to tick off the activist crowd over at the University of Guam. However, I guarantee that they are going to be all ticked off about the idea that there could be up to a 5% hike in tuition at the University of Guam. Can I make it worse? My name is Ray Gibson. I'm a senior citizen. I don't get charged tuition at the University of Guam. Ooh, we're fair to all people. We're fair to everybody. I gotta go. I don't have to go. I got to take a break here. News break with Fox News coming up here in just a second. Donna D with a look at all the big news and headlines. Starting early this morning at a variety of places. Now we have got high school parent-teacher conferences. This is going on at all of the high schools except J.P. Torres Success Academy, where they send the thuggy kids. Except for there, I don't know why they call it the Success Academy, because it seems to me if you're going to school there, you've missed out on a big opportunity for success in the regular school system. Look, I got to break away. Fox News Live next. Donna D headlines coming up. Jerry Roberts in the Extra Point. All ahead right here on The Ray Gibson Show.
The early turnout is high. On Lisa Brady, Fox News. 2 weeks to the midterm elections, there's record turnout in Georgia. More than 1 million total votes already in a state accused by President Biden of discrimination and voter suppression.
I'm not going to get into specifics of what Georgia voters are doing. What I am saying is that, generally speaking, again, more broadly speaking, of course, high turnout and voter suppression can take place at the same time.
White House spokeswoman Karine Jean-Pierre not backing down from the president's previous Jim Crow comparison. Early in-person voting begins today in Wisconsin. The new Fox News Power Rankings offering a best-case scenario for Democrats of a 2-seat House majority, while projecting Republicans will take control with a 16-seat majority. The Senate still up in the air with 4 states considered toss-ups. President Biden says it would be a serious mistake for Russia to use a tactical nuclear weapon in Ukraine. This after Russia's warning that Ukraine is planning to use radioactive weapons, which the U.S. and NATO have rejected.
Experts think Russia could be setting the world up for a false flag operation using a dirty bomb, radioactive material wrapped in conventional explosives that would then give Moscow an excuse to escalate, even using some of their 2,000 tactical nukes on the battlefield in Ukraine.
Fox's Jennifer Griffin at the Pentagon, which says Russia has notified the U.S. it plans exercises of its nuclear forces, considered as routine annual drills. Closing arguments in Wisconsin, where Darrell Brooks Jr. is accused of driving to a Christmas parade on purpose, killing 6 people, injuring more than 60 last year.
Counts 68 through 73, hit and run causing death, in my opinion, are easily summarized as this: he never stopped.
Washtenaw County DA Susan Opper rejecting defense claims it wasn't intentional. America is listening to Fox News.
JV International Safety Equipment has it all for you. Fall protection, rain gear, traffic signs, speed bumps, custom signs and banners, PPEs, fire extinguishers, plus more. Check them out on Facebook at JV International Safety Equipment Company or visit their website, www.jvisec.com. JV International Safety Equipment, Guam's leader in occupational and environmental safety equipment. Call 688-9524. JV International Safety Equipment, located in Harmon Industrial Park.
A great humanitarian once said that the difference between a career politician and a leader is the politician cares about the number of years served, and the leader just cares about serving. This defines Senator Chris Duenas. He is a seasoned statesman whose focus has always been on being a champion for the masses and a fighter for the truth. Re-elect Senator Chris Duenas, speaking up for you.
I am Chris Duenas, and I approve this message.
Edward Alvarez, Treasurer.
Prosecutors in Buffalo, New York say more charges are expected after a car crash that killed 4 teenagers and may be linked to a TikTok challenge about stealing Kias. Police in Buffalo say the speeding Kia that crashed early yesterday had been reported stolen Sunday night. A 5th teenage passenger is on life support. The 16-year-old driver was treated and released from the hospital and ticketed for 2 violations so far, including criminal possession of stolen property. The president's urging more Americans to get the new COVID shot.
President Biden rolled up his sleeve for an on-camera updated COVID booster.
And now I'll show you just how easy it is to get that shot.
President Biden was joined by members of his COVID response team and executives from pharmacy chains in an effort to convince more Americans to get boosted ahead of a potential fall and winter surge of the Omicron strain.
We've made the vaccines free and available. We've made the tests free and available. We've made Paxlovid free and available. Please use them.
The president had to wait a few months for his updated COVID booster after testing positive for the virus over the summer. At the White House, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
Powerball fever strikes again with tomorrow night's jackpot climbing to more than $700 million.
The odds are in almost no one's favor, as evidenced by the fact that it's grown to this amount. No one's picked all 6 winning numbers since August 3rd. But at some point, someone has to win, right? Even with the odds being 1 in 292 million. Powerball is played in all states but 5. It is also played in D.C., Puerto Rico, and the U.S. Virgin Islands.
Fox's Jessica Rosenthal. 3 rallies in a row on Wall Street. The Dow finishing at more than 31,800, up 337 points. The S&P up more than 1%. The NASDAQ more than 2%. Positive earnings reports getting some of the credit. And Lisa Brady, Fox News.
Half a day. I'm Bishop Mendiola, and I'm running for senator to promote lower cost of living, increase our food security, and ignite new economic sector development. I will put to work my fresh ideas, my experience as a small business owner to create legislation that removes the red tape on our economic growth. I want to pave the way to a prosperous, wealthy, and self-sustainable island community. I'm Bishop Mendiola, number 13 on the Republican ballot, and I approve this message.
Half a day, Guam. Dr. Bob and the team at Guam Pet Hospital humbly ask for your vote in the annual Pika's Best veterinary category. You can vote every day at guampdn.com. We pride ourselves on honesty, integrity, and client education. Our advanced pet care includes a full in-house digital laboratory, digital x-rays, cancer screening, soft tissue surgery, orthopedic surgery, and an intensive care unit for the emergencies. Please vote Guam Pet Hospital for Pika's Best Veterinary, because your pets deserve the best.
There are billions of dollars worth of opportunities knocking on Guam's doors right now. New jobs, higher wages, improved quality of life for all Guamanians. If Jim Moylan is not elected to this Congress, these opportunities will be lost, gone. Why? Ask Jim's opponent what her stance is on the military buildup. You probably will not like her answer. Let Jim lead us into a better future. This November, vote James Moylan to U.S. Congress.
I'm James Moylan, and I approve this message.
Vince Borja epitomizes determination. His family was so poor that he received his first pillow when he joined the Army. Vince went from extreme poverty to obtaining a master's degree, becoming a non-commissioned officer in the Army, working for a Fortune 500 company, and becoming an entrepreneur. Vince even gave up his job as a professor so he could run and serve his people. You cannot teach grit and determination. With Vince Borja, you don't have to. It's in his DNA. So is leadership. Vote Vince Borja for senator. Determination has a name.
My name is Vince Borja, and I approve this message.
Half a day at 7:07. I'm Donna DeJesus. Here's a look at your local news on The Point. Convicted drug smuggler, 36-year-old Timothy James Duenas, was spared from having to serve any additional time in prison after he admitted to using meth 3 times over the past month. In 2016, Duenas was accused with others of conspiring to bring in 400 grams of drugs from California when authorities stopped it at the airport. Duenas appeared before Magistrate Judge Michael Burdalio in district court yesterday. The U.S. Probation Office told the court Duenas had tested negative for drug use for most of the time he has been out on supervised release. The court then gave him another chance to get back on track. Duenas is scheduled to be back in court on November 28. And a settlement has been reached between the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency and Guam's shipyard to meet pollutant discharge requirements under the Clean Water Act to protect Apra Harbor. Guam Shipyard operates a ship repair facility on Cabras Island in Pidi, which has conducted industrial activities including boat repair, maintenance, and material storage since at least January 2016. In 2019, U.S. EPA issued an order to Guam Shipyard on stormwater discharge permitting and pollution requirements. The parties eventually reached a settlement on the issues. 2 years later, the U.S. EPA and the Guam EPA inspected the facility this year and found new violations of the shipyard's permit obligations, including a large accumulation of waste materials throughout the site, which may discharge directly into Apra Harbor. The facility also failed to submit required reports to the EPA. The U.S. EPA is now requiring Guam Shipyard to clean the site of spills, garbage, and waste materials, as well as provide employee training to prevent pollution from occurring. More news after this.
News this hour is brought to you by the friendly and hardworking folks at Hoffaday Realty. Jody, Saran, Libby, Lolita, and their team of professionals. For all your real estate needs, contact Hoffaday Realty, recently nominated as one of PICA's best real estate companies. Call 671-588-4232 or email hoffadayrealty@gmail.com. Located at 426 Chalon San Antonio, Suite 204, Tumaning. Open Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. till 4 p.m.
Lawmakers have blocked the vote on Senator Talina Nelson's Bill 292 that would increase off-duty pay for Guam Customs and Quarantine officers. During Monday's session, the measure ultimately failed to proceed to third reading, which would have set the bill up for later voting. Off-duty service charges are maxed at $275 per officer per day, a limit Bill 292 proposed to remove. Even if officers are willing to provide services, they can't accept additional assignments if the cap is reached. Senator Chris Duenas questioned whether the issue was the cap or manpower. Guam Customs Chief Vincent Perez says the agency is understaffed. He adds that the more people they hire, the less calls they'll receive for service as time progresses, and less officers will be working off-duty. Perez says there are times when vendors requesting the service can't get their goods processed quickly because of the cap and often ask why they can't just pay for the service. Nelson attempted to place the measure into the third reading file, but an objection was made and there were not enough votes to go through with her motion. Meanwhile, UOG will be discussing a tuition increase in the next few months. A 5% tuition hike was originally scheduled for spring 2022, but the university managed to delay the hike last year by offsetting costs with federal funding provided during the COVID-19 pandemic. UOG requested an $11.4 million increase in funding from the government's general fund for fiscal year 2023, but instead received a $2.5 million budget cut. The school is now trying to stave off a potential deficit of between $1 million and $1.5 million this fiscal year. Senator Joe San Augustine's Bill 340 would let the school utilize about $1.15 million originally slated for construction to keep up with operation costs like water and power. That money came out of UOG's operational account this year instead of from the Territorial Education Facilities Fund, as it had in the past. The construction of a new engineering annex and Student Success Center will begin early next year, and the bulk of costs won't come due until construction is completed. UOG Associate Budget Officer Rachel Kubakub says the school will have to closely monitor expenses from month to month. And those were your top stories. Back to Ray with weather.
Actually, we'll get around to the weather here in just a second. What did I get from Rico? Rico sent some pictures in. This one here, I put it up on screen because it's important enough to do. Even though we don't normally do like a traffic thing here, it's worth putting out. EPAL Road, A portion closed for improvement. It was going to happen soon. I thought they were going to do it bit by bit, but it looks like nope, we're going whole hog. A portion of EPAL Road Route 14B is now officially closed from SDA Clinic down to the Hilton intersection. Enter and exit from Marine Corps Drive, Route 1, if you want to get into Tumon, into that area. We apologize for the inconvenience as we move forward for this much-needed improvement that they're going to be doing there for the next 360 days.
At least we can get to our place in Talaverde.
You know,
before hitting that.
Thank you very much. Yeah. Because I've got a couple of tennis matches over by the swimming pool today, so we'll get some tennis in, and then we'll go and take a dip. Do you suppose? Thank you very much, 7:12 in the morning. So just want to get that out there before I get into the weather. Weather, I think today is going to be absolutely gorgeous. Partly sunny, highs near 86 degrees. What have I got for you? Near easterly winds 7 to 9 miles an hour tonight. Today. Tonight, 5 to 9 miles an hour, so not a whole lot by way of winds. Scattered showers and thunderstorms could be moving into the forecast area. As you can see on the map, we got this junk down to the southeast of us, almost due south of us now, and it doesn't look like it's doing much other than just being European weather. So it could be sending some, I don't know, shooters out in our direction. Be on the lookout for those tomorrow. Scattered showers and thunderstorms in the forecast for Friday. Mostly cloudy and highs near 85 that day. Heat index today make it feel like 92 degrees. Sunrise this morning was at 6:13. Sunset tonight at 5:56. Hashtag tell the others. There it is. News and weather together on The Point.
Across all walks of life, all professions, every societal change, education has been the way forward. As governor, I built 4 new schools and broke ground on a 5th. Tony and I have a plan to modernize and build for the future. This election, vote for the team that has actually done something for education on Guam. For details on our plans for education, visit CamachoAdaforGuam.com. I'm Felix Camacho.
I'm Tony Ada.
We approve this message.
Want more internet speed, more mobile data, more TV, and more reliable phone service? Introducing the new GTA Choice Bundles. The more you choose, the more you save. And for a limited time, sign up for a new Choice Bundle with home internet service up to Internet 50 and get a free Roku Express. Or Internet 75 or higher and receive a $100 account credit. Visit GTA.net and get more choices, more savings with GTA's Choice Bundles. Conditions apply. See website for details. GTA, we start with you.
I will comfort and keep you warm. I'm just saying that the music that they're playing in the Camacho ads, the one that Tony was on last hour, the one that Felix was on just a couple of minutes ago, sounds like the song that they play at funerals when they're closing the casket, or when you're actually at the graveside and they're releasing the pigeons and the balloon shaped like a rosary.
So what you're saying is you feel it in your heart.
I don't know what I'm feeling here, but if it is, I think it's a marketing move of genius. Because I tell you what, I don't know, that's one of those songs when you hear it, even if you didn't know the guy they're burying, you still kind of get a little bit misty when you're thinking about it, right?
For sure.
I'm just saying, it would be a stroke of political genius, almost as good as Joe Ada using I believe The Children Are Our Future by Whitney Houston. You remember that one? The Greatest Love of All, Joe. And that song got Joe Ada elected here. It's 7:16 in the morning in the Ray Gibson Show, brought to you by our friends over at APL, American President Lines, a global presence with a local home, also being brought to you by the team at Guam Regional Medical City. They are your healthcare partners.
News to fill your mind. Talk to get it out. The Ray Gibson Show. Call now, 888-8255.
I'm getting a picture here from a buddy. I'm not sure if I can use it on the air. It's a picture, and he's from, I'll just say he's from a strong Democrat family, and it's a great picture of him standing next to Felix Camacho and Tony Ada, who will comfort you and keep you warm. Like the song says, that they're going to be doing. It's in my head now. I'm not going to be able to get it out. 7:16 on the Ray Gibson Show. Lots and lots to get to in the next little bit, but we've got to keep things going. Donna took care of the news. Fox took care of the other news. Jerry Roberts and the Extra Point coming your way here in just a couple of minutes. But we've got enough time to go and take a look at the market and see what exactly is going on out there. Do I have the music for the market? Yes, here it comes. S&P 500 up 61 points to close at 38.59. And NASDAQ picked up 246 points. Biggest winner by percentage, 2.25% higher than they were yesterday, 11,199. Dow Jones Industrial Average in triple digits again today, 30. But it's in the green, triple digits in the green. That's a good thing. 31,800. And 36. So nice. Maybe next month will be the month where I'm not afraid to open my retirement paperwork. FTSE is down by less than 1% here. Nikkei up by 275 points. Hang Seng down by 15. Shanghai down by about 1.5. VIX down by about 1.5. And the DAX picks up 121 points in their trade today. What did I say? NASDAQ big winner by percentage. All right, Lucid, Intuitive, Lululemon. Yay for yoga pants. Virtually.
They have clothes for men, Ray. I have.
Whatever. Kind of a stretch there, bud.
Sorry. I think it just came out.
Lululemon, I don't know why, but Lululemon, no, I do know why, is in my head. Whenever I say Lululemon, it's in my head, number one, because like every runner girl that I've known has invested in the thousands now for Lululemon clothes. Number one, they look good, and number two, they don't hold stink. And that makes a difference.
Yeah, the material.
Exactly. And certain of their Lululemon yoga pants products were see-through, and nobody knew until they knew that it was see-through. Not saying that there's anything wrong with that. Datadog at number 4, PayPal Holding is back in the top 5 on the NASDAQ. Bottom 5, Cadence Design, Synopsys, Micron Technology, Amgen, and Vertex Pharma. Looking at some of the commodities that we like to look at. Oil, $84.94. That's up by about 36 cents in daytime trade today, but still trading in the mid-80s. Not so bad. Is that going to be enough? When did Simon say they're going to be talking to the PUC? Like soon on what they're going to be doing about a LEAC. Got my fingers crossed they don't have to go down that dirty road, but they're already underwater on that. Gold at $16.57. That's up by $3.30. And the Japanese to the yen, it's down 147.95. It was 150 the other day, 147.95. It's actually up by about 4 yen in the exchange here. 719. Do I got a Bitcoin number, Real Joe?
You do. It's 20,170.
Oh my God! Upward movement.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay, you know why? Because
Kanye?
No, not Kanye. Oh my God, Kanye is going to die poor and penniless.
Come on, man, no.
He's losing everybody that was backing him up now is saying, "Ooh, we can't back you because you're
It's all
racist.
part of the plan.
You're a racist." So, can a black guy be racist?
I don't know. It could be the next
I
Jesus.
guess. Well, all right.
They're denying him.
Wow, all kinds of problems. First that thing with the Kardashian, and now. So where are we? 7:19 on the Ray Gibson Show. Tell you what, I got to take a quick break. Come right back, and we'll see if we can get Jerry Robertson with the extra point.
Half a day, I'm Frank Bloss Jr. As a senator, I know full well the responsibility of having the weight of your worries on my shoulders. I also accept that I'll have to make decisions that are right but aren't popular. What matters is I do my best for you. This election, I ask for just one of your votes so I can continue to work on what concerns you most. I'm Frank Bloss Jr., number 1 Republican, and I thank you for listening. Paid for by Friends for Frank, Dave Morcilla, Treasurer.
Everyone has a busy schedule these days, and sometimes we forget to schedule our routine dental checkup and cleaning. Don't neglect your dental health. Schedule one today with Dr. Robert Yang and his Smile Team, conveniently located at the East West Business Center on Marine Drive, Upper Tumon. Call us today at 647-8702 or 3. Again, that's 647-8702 or 647-8703. We make smiles happen.
The Camacho Ada approach to reviving Guam's economy stands on our 7 pillars of opportunity. Business development is central to our platform. Tony and I are both businessmen who know the role that government should play in encouraging and supporting economic growth. For more information on how we will help our economy rebuild and prosper, please visit CamachoAdaForGuam.com. Taking care of business and opportunity, this will be a new season. I'm Felix Camacho.
I'm Tony Ada.
We approve this message.
You heard it. You heard it, right? You know what I'm talking about?
I did. And
you can
felt
almost
it
see
too,
the family standing around the casket while they're closing it for the last time.
My lower lip was shaking.
Yes, exactly. 721 on the Ray Gibson Show, 888-8255-888-TALK. Jerry Roberts standing by for the extra point. Got a couple of minutes for Ken LG, and I'm actually going to say it like that. We're busy enough these days with all the ads and political stuff. I literally only have a couple of minutes for you, so you might want to tease into something that we can talk about later. What do you think, Ken?
Oh, I can do that easy. I just sent you a thing on the WhatsApp that you can show later, showing how the past became today. And it goes right back to prophecies made in 2019, even before the pandemic, when the administration was in trouble. And I sent you a little WhatsApp message, and we can talk about it coming out of the news at the bottom of the hour.
Okay, well, let me just put the graphic up on the screen so that people can compare and contrast. Front page of today's, is it PDN? It's hard to tell because it's a color picture. But they're printing a color again today. The hard to stretch our budget. Prices of food, power, gas spike by up to 53% in a year. Damning headline. And then you've got another picture with, looks like Lou dressed as a vampire sucking the consumer's blood.
Now, that wasn't my cartoon, but the whole point is this headline, this graphic right here is what the real reason why, despite anything Rory is saying, the reason why Lou will not debate Felix and Tony, because she can't defend the undefendable, and her entire record of 4 years is undefendable. So she's actually welcoming any opportunity to not debate even if she has to manufacture it.
Right. So defending a 5% business privilege tax at a time where we seem to have about over $100 million in excess revenue coming into the government of Guam, plus all of the additional monies that have been provided by the federal government, you believe that is undefensible and could be a major component and maybe a first-round knockout in the great debate that is so far looking pretty dodgy right now.
Well, if I could have, I would have done a video, because when I was at the gas station up there by Kmart the other day, there was a guy sitting there counting out his change to buy gas, and he was so embarrassed because there were other people around.
That was Joe.
And that's what we've come down to as a society, that the gap between the all-in crowd and the rest of the people is getting bigger and bigger. Because when you drive around, you look at when you
okay,
see
that's
the
enough.
all-in
That's a good piece. More later from Ken Leon Guerrero. I got a schedule to keep. I hear what you're saying, and I'm just absolutely loving the cluelessness of an all-in wave rally right in front of the homeless camp across from the Micronesia Mall. It is astonishing. Ken, I'll talk to you later on. 7:24 in the morning. Jerry Roberts in the studio asking whether I've watched the Fauci video yet. And the answer is still no. Fat Man and Little Boy was what I ended up watching yesterday on I think it was on Amazon Prime, Amazing Prime, or something like that, because I thought it was number one. John Cusack is incredible in Fat Man and Little Boy, and so is Newman and whoever the guy was that played the Destroyer of Worlds, Oppenheimer. Yeah, good movie. So, but I all right. So last opportunity to tell me what I'm missing.
I'm not.
In the Fauci thing.
It's a 2-hour movie. I'm not going to tell you what you're missing in 2 hours.
Okay. All right. Does it have any warnings about alcohol, tobacco?
Plus, of course it is. Plus, they dropped another hour and 10 minutes yesterday. I told you there was a second part to this. Oh. And then more. And it's worse.
It's worse. So
basically, what they've done is it's an hour, almost two. So it's almost 3 hours of this movie. Okay. And it is just one blockbuster thing after another that this guy has been involved with, and it shows the people he's been involved doing these things with, up to and including the pandemic, and it continues today.
Yeah, and probably will even after he's gone. And just collecting his annuity for being the highest paid member of the federal government family.
Oh yeah,
yeah. I mean, the guy's completely set up. I mean, that in and of itself kind of irks me.
Well.
That you're able to drive the civil service train to wherever you want it to go, and retire on 7 figures.
I've got a feeling that Fauci's $400,000 and some odd salary is probably coffee money to what he's been able to do since he's been in that position.
Are you suggesting there might be a hint of corruption?
Ooh.
7:26, Jerry Roberts in the Extra Point, and it is brought to you here by our friends over at First Hawaiian Bank. Jerry?
You got a family business, and someday you would love to have your kids join you in that enterprise, eventually taking it over and building it up so it lasts. Well, in our third segment on the topic of passing leadership on in the family, I want to know, how do you present that business when you're at home? What's the image that your family gets? That's where we go next on the Extra Point.
Take your business to new heights with the United Business Credit Card. Earn 30,000 bonus miles after spending $3,000 within the first 3 months after account opening. Plus, earn 3 times the miles per $1 spent on United tickets through United until April 30th, 2023, and 2 times the miles thereafter. Visit any First Hawaiian Bank branch or go to FHB.com United Business for more information and to apply for your United Business Credit Card today. First Hawaiian Bank. It all starts with yes.
Half a day, this is Honey. Here at APL, our expertise and extensive network can help you grow your business and reach out to more global markets. As a responsible carrier, APL is also committed to a sustainable future, whether it's protecting the environment or investing our efforts in giving back to the community. Our dedicated teams in Guam, Saipan, and on U.S. mainland are here to support you. Call 588-4651 or visit apl.com.
Our conversation about succession in family companies began Tuesday. If you missed programs number 1183 and 1184, you can get the transcripts now at guamtraining.com. The question I left you with a moment ago was, how do you reflect your business when you're at home? Are you tired, irritable, bringing piles of work home with you and getting to it right after you eat dinner. There's no time for the family. Do you grumble about things that happened during the day, like the sale that was lost, the employee you had to chew out for making the same mistake for the umpteenth time, the vendor who didn't show up, the people who won't return calls or messages, and a seemingly never-ending series of negatives? If that's what you do on any kind of a regular basis, tell me why your kid is going to want to do anything to do with your business. They look at you and your struggle and might be saying to themselves, there's no way I'm setting myself up for that. Business is tough. There are good days and other days. I'm not saying you should lie to a child and say everything is wonderful, but that said, what if you came home after a tough day and your kid asks, how's it, Dad? Instead of unraveling every bad thing that happened, you say, well, it was a challenge today, but it's a lot better now that I'm here with you. That's called emotional intelligence. They don't need to know all the gruesome details, especially when they're younger. The older a child is, the more you can share to give them a balanced view of the company and your role in the operation. Something needs to be said here. The same goes for you. If you're employed but not a business owner, how do you project your job to your kids? If a child of yours was asked what it is that you do for a living, how would he or she respond? My dad works for GPA, or my mom sells retirement plans. The answer they give will depend on how you feel about what you do. If your kid ever asked what you do for a living and you said, I work for GPA, that's probably not going to spark the same enthusiasm as if you said, I work in the transmission department at GPA. The team I'm with is responsible for generating and controlling the electricity that goes into homes and businesses. If we don't do our job, there's no power. Everything goes off. You think that might be a little more impressive? If you sell retirement plans, you could say, my job is to help people take the money they earn and see that it grows, so there's a lot more for them when they need it. You see, this is important. Every legitimate job, every company has a story attached to it. Don't shortchange your kids who want to be proud of their mom and dad. Don't tell your child where it is you work or the title of your job. Tell them what you do and what it means. If you feel a little bit shy about doing that, download the transcript to this program, number 1185, and show it to your spouse so they understand the importance, and they can be the one who tells the kids about what it is that you do. If you both work, you can do this for each other. If you own a business and sincerely want your kids to join the company one day and one day direct it, make sure you show them a good, fair, and balanced view. Give them the basics when they're young and show them more as they get older. Let them visit and do little odd jobs once in a while. In their teens, offer them summer or vacation work, which will give them a hands-on view of the operation. You can show the challenges when they're able to understand them. They'll also need to see the joys and the successes. There's no guarantee that a child will follow in a parent's footsteps. However, show them what you do, why it matters, and that you like your career. And they just might someday be willing to give it a try. That's the extra point. Be responsible and make something good happen today. For 93.3, The Ray Gibson Show and First Hawaiian Bank, I'm Jerry Roberts.
I love a good series, Jerry. Good job. 7:32 in the morning. LiveToLeadGuam.com and the World Wide Web. Details on that. Clock is running on the great prices for right now.
Monday, the prices go up.
All right, so you want to get in there.
That's why they want to get there. LiveToLeadGuam.com. Thank you, sir.
No problem, buddy. It's time for our next look at news and headlines with Donna D, brought to you by the guys over at Hoffaday Realty. For all of your real estate needs. And remember, they were nominated among Pika's best realtors on Guam. Give them your vote and then give them a call, 588-4232. 730 News also brought to you by Burger King. And they've got the Thanks for Driving Through Mondays deal. You can look forward to that. And while you're waiting for it, swing by the Pika's best on the PDN website and give them a vote. A lot of different categories: best fast food, best drive-through, best late night, best burger, and more. So find them and give them a nod, a seal of approval, if you will. It's time for news and headlines with Donna Donna D. Havadana, what happened?
Democratic Party of Guam Executive Director Chirag Bojwani was back in court yesterday for his drunk driving case. He appeared before Superior Court Judge Vern Perez and could be taking a plea deal with prosecutors. In March, Bojwani was busted for driving with an open container and having blood alcohol content that was twice the legal limit. He'll be back in court on November 28. Meanwhile, repairs should be starting soon for the air conditioners at Finnegodson Elementary School. Guam Education Board Chair Mark Mendiola says there is a plan in place to address the problem. He says about $80 million in ARP funds has been set aside and is based on a priority standard that is set by the department. Mendiola says the repairs for Finnegodson alone will cost $100,000. And Cycle 5 of the Emergency Rental Assistance, or ERA, is open for those who need help paying rent or utilities. The assistance covers a maximum of 18 months of rent and utility costs between March 13, 2020 to today. Applicants who exhausted the 18 months of assistance may be eligible for continued assistance. To apply, go to doa.guam.gov, visit the GovGuam Relief Center on the third floor of the Bank of Hawaii building in Hagåtña, or the ERA office on the second floor of the ITC building. And those are your local headlines. Back to Ray.
All right, 7:34, 7:35. We'll call that Beyond the Box time. Swing by Beyond the Box at the Micronesia Mall. iPhone 14's got them. All of the gadgets and gizmos you need to make that iPhone 14 perform at its highest and best sounding and looking level. You can also find those, all the gadgets that you need for your digital life waiting for you at Beyond the Box.
Hafide Guam, this is Senator Amanda Shelton. The 2022 general election is right around the corner on November 8th, and early voting has begun. Curbside and in-office voting are available Tuesday through Friday from 10 to 6 at the Westin in Tumon, and Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at satellite locations until November 3rd. Please bring a valid Guam ID, and I humbly ask for the honor of one of your votes. Seduus Maasi.
Paid for by the Committee to Elect Amanda Shelton, number 6 Democrat, Johnny Cole Torres Trip.
Are you looking for a new place to hang out with your friends? Let's go along the sidelines at Sidelines Bar and Grill. Located at 154 Iriarte Road, Unit 4 and 5 in Tamuning behind Royal Bigs. Sidelines, a hidden gem with nothing but great things to offer. Great atmosphere, great food, top shelf drinks, and a great team. What are we waiting for? Let the fun begin at Sidelines Bar and Grill. Open daily from 3 p.m. to 2 a.m. See you there.
Half a day. I'm Tom Fisher. Here's the harsh reality. A trip to the grocery store for the basics, eggs, bag of rice, butter, can of Spam, milk, costs almost $30, and that's just 5 items. The cost of living continues to grow, but the money doesn't. We need to roll back the business privilege tax to reduce Guam's cost of living, and I will make that happen.
Vote Thomas Fisher for senator. If you want different, vote different.
I'm Tom Fisher, and I approve this message.
On that traffic, it's only 7:36, too early for traffic, but I'll see what we can scare up. Might be seeing some traffic looming around, do I have it? Okay, wait. Looming around the EPAL Road. They've apparently closed the thing off. I've got Jersey barriers and K-rails, I believe at both ends of that, starting around SDA and then working your way south through there towards the Hilton area. That road now is closed. I'm assuming to all but walking traffic, which means, if you ask me, if you're a runner, now is the time to try that route that you've always wanted to run, but you never did because, you get down that snaky road that they've got there. But it's a little bit amazing and a little bit wow while I'm thinking about it because I don't remember the last time they did any construction on that piece of roadway. All right, taking a look at the gizmo machine and see if traffic is getting bad on island. Yes, it absolutely is. Heavy up around the entrance to Anderson Air Force Base, main gate, I suppose. We're looking at traffic at both of the new four-way stops on the back road running heavy. I got a lot of traffic at Ipao into Waisangsong. Nothing major on Waisangsong. I think it's just southbound traffic through there. Also seeing some traffic over by the Cost-U-Less out in Harmon, etc. A little bit of traffic between the intersection of 1 and 3. No major traffic on 3 right now, I think, because Ukadu is ready for parent-teacher conferences, etc. But you are going to run into traffic until you get to the slum. No, I don't want to call it slum. It's a homeless camp, right? You want to call it that? Over by the intersection of 1 and 16. 8, 10, and 16 running fairly busy right now. Dogging out traffic on Route 8 all the way into Hagåtña. We do have a couple of spots on Route 4 that will slow you down up around the other. Is it Cost-U-Less? It's Cost-U-Less there, right?
There is, yeah.
Yeah, right around...
Pago.
Exactly. So around there and then into Orda and Sinahanya. Not a whole lot of traffic, oddly, getting into Big Navy and Sumai. So it's looking pretty good down there. 737, there's your right now traffic. This is The Point.
Half a day. I'm Jesse Anderson Lujan. Throughout this campaign, I've been presenting my plans to reduce inflation, rebuild our tourism industry, and fight the crystal meth and crime problems plaguing our island. Our government can do more to lift the burdens facing our families. If elected, I will be ready on day one to get to work to help make Guam safe again and urgently rebuild our economy. I humbly ask you, please vote Jesse Anderson Lujan, number 7, Republican. I'm Jesse Anderson Lujan, and I approve this message.
Subway's Eat Fresh, Refresh chicken choices have so much. How are we going to fit them all in one commercial?
Subway's new Baja Chicken and Bacon is loaded with hand-pulled rotisserie-style chicken, hickory smoked bacon, sprinkled with spicy buttery pepper jack cheese, and drizzled with Subway's Baja Chipotle sauce. Man, this is making me hangry.
And get this, Subway's Chicken Bacon Ranch is stuffed with melted Monterey cheddar cheese, tender all-white meat chicken on your choice of fresh hand-sliced veggies and freshly baked bread. You pick the tagline.
At Subway, you gotta refresh to be fresh.
Judy Wampat's voting record for Guam shows she will vote for herself. As Speaker of the Guam Legislature, she gave herself a $30,000 pay raise and a $15,000 retro payment. For that, Guam voted her out of office. She claims she's a fighter. If she's elected into Congress, she will fight the United States government, and Guam will lose billions of dollars in opportunities. Vote James Moylan for Congress. Jim's a real fighter for Guam and not for himself.
I'm James Moylan, and I approve this message.
Rediscover talk radio here. Your FM News Talk Superstation. This is The Point.
Yeah, I told you. 7:39. Okay, I thought. I guess Kanye's comments were anti-Semitic, right?
Yeah.
That was the deal, and I think it freaked everybody out when he was walking around wearing the shirt that said "White Lives Matter."
Yes, they do.
So
right?
he has gone from being worth in the billions. I want to say $6.6 billion to a net worth now of about $400 million.
Oh, that's
that's
a big drop.
How's he going to live? I don't know.
Yeah.
Could you make it on only $400 million a year?
That's tough, man.
I don't know. I'm sorry, guys. It's just not going to be able to. Balenciaga lost the deal on the Balenciaga. A bunch of other people.
His attorney dropped him too, I think.
Oh, did he?
I think his attorney's Jewish, right?
20 away. You don't know. You don't want to know what's in my head. 888-825-5888 TALK is the telephone number around here. And Ken's calling right back. Wants to make sure that we get that point. Cy will be on the line soon, and so will Chris. The reason why I want to talk to Simon is something that is all over the Guam alerts today. Now one of them is an interesting story. I'm getting a divorce while I'm in the Philippines. Where do I go? How do I do that? And Guam is actually the answer to that question. But then the rest of the alerts all refer to Blink charging signs, as a verb, collaborative agreement with Triple J and Guam Power Authority. Now, Blink is one of these outfits where if you've got an electric vehicle, there are places where you can go and charge up.
Yeah.
The Blink is going to be one of them, and I know that Triple J is getting on kind of. I don't want to use the phrase all in, but they are all in on EVs, as is Ford. So
They have a charging station there, though, right?
They have a charging station.
Is that the only one?
As that I know of. I know
On
that
island?
Coast 360 has outlets so that you could plug in like a regular 110 thing and charge your car while you're there. But I've never seen anybody use that. Usually it's just homeless people using it to charge their phones. So that's where my head's at. 7:41 in the morning. All right, Ken LG's back on the line, and I'll go ahead and as a courtesy to him and the viewers of the program, go ahead and put that meme, the pictures that he sent to me a little bit earlier. That kind of, this is where we are today. We've got people looking for bargains, looking for great deals, low prices in the grocery store, and then Lou and a picture from back in 2019 that was drawn by the great editorial cartoonist from over at the PDN building.
Yeah, and then on top of that, it was real interesting because this cartoon on the left is the one that I had drawn. We were both looking at two different aspects. We were looking at the fact that in 2019, the governor's administration was so unbalanced financially that we were heading over the cliff with the majority of all the revenue funds reporting missing targets. And that's why thank you for the federal dollars became so popular, because it was after the pandemic hit that we got billions of dollars that government of Guam now is touting $100 million surplus at a time when so many families are struggling and counting change to buy gas and looking for, shopping first at the markdown section for food. It's an unsustainable situation, but the government is not responding to the needs of the people, because remember, that's why she won't debate. She campaigned the first time that she's going to roll back the taxes. Had she been governor instead of Calvo, that she would have collected all the taxes. But the latest news out of revenue and taxes, the arrears have gone up to $200 million. So that's why she doesn't want to debate, because she cannot debate on her record.
They've found ways around that, and one of them is we're not going to talk about our record. We're going to tell you how bad it was either in Felix's time or Eddie's time. PDN has got an interesting set of questions and answers for the governors and the governor candidates here. How big is Guam's crime problem? What type of crimes are we seeing, and how do you plan to address the crime problem? And their response on that is over 16 years of Republicans, drug crime has increased. And they're talking about we've taken more drugs off the street in 1 year than in all 8 of our opponents, and expanded drug treatment to address the root, whatever. And I'm looking at that going, the reason why they're taking more drugs off the street is because there's such a significantly larger amount of drugs here on Guam. I don't know that that's the last 4 years or not, but I'm saying the point of that comment is our answer is, well, we're not as bad as it was under our predecessors' administrations.
Well, that won't hold water, because most of the things she's taking credit for fighting crime were actually things that were started during the Calvo administration. And in spite of that, in spite of her commitment to making the people of Guam safe, you and I both know that more people on Guam are buying guns than ever before. That's how safe they feel under a Leon Guerrero Tenorio administration. The numbers of police officers, she had incredible opportunities to dramatically increase the numbers of people on the police force, but what did she do instead? She increased the staffing at ADLOOP and the administrative staff of just about every agency during the pandemic, including hiring directors and deputy directors for agencies that were closed.
I remember
it's
that.
a record that's undefendable.
It's helping to build the governor. Speaking of the Guam Police Department, I don't have it completely confirmed, but I would like to say welcome back to Bruno Sablan, Paul Suba, former chief, Ricky Salas, Alan Guzman, DJ Sablan. I'm told are all returning to the not their former positions, but other positions in the police department in the Guam DPS. I keep wanting to call it DPS because I'm old, but anyway. So there is at least that. And I think the last time I had, what's her name on the phone? Crystal Paco San Augustin. She said, but we bought him a boat. Remember, we bought those guys a boat. And near as I can tell, I don't know that has been responsible for any interdiction of drugs coming into the market.
No, I don't think so either. You hit it on the head when you said that the reason the amount confiscated has gone up is because so much more has been coming in because of the lack of detection and enforcement. Remember, she didn't purchase any more drug detection dogs until just months before the primary, in spite of the fact that we've been talking about this subject for 10 years as our detecting dogs were getting older and retiring. Never replaced them until just before the election. So what does that tell you?
Yeah, they're going to say it's supply chain issues. We couldn't. We couldn't get them because supply chain issues. They're not like they're turning those things out in incredible numbers. 747. Okay, got the point. We'll see what happens. I don't know. This idea of debate by proxy in my mind is absolutely ridiculous. But it might be par for the course. One of the things that Ron McNinch says, and Ken, I'm going to let you run. I'll see you soon. One of the things that Dr. McNinch refers to in the article in today's Guam Daily Post is that you know what? It's not just Guam. Guam, where we're having debate issues all across the country. They're referring to these dwindling debates. Congressional candidates increasingly rejecting debate invitations, a casualty of politicians' increasing ability to bypass traditional media. Why am I going to get into your debate here? If I want to make a point, I can get on social media and make that point. The only thing I've got to do is be able to defend myself against the farters, which would be Facebook administration response team members, of which we have many on Guam. Debates, once frank exchanges about serious issues, became platforms for scoring points in front of big audiences, and now are seen by many campaigns as unnecessary or too risky, which it might be more to the point, frankly, for both of the campaigns that are out there, Lou's campaign and Felix and Tony's. It might be a little bit risky for them to get out there. You'll recall one of the very first successful debates that took place here on Guam. We were a part of it. Point, Post, Candid News. And it was a debate. Invitations were sent out to Felix and Tony. We sent out invitations to Mike and Bree. We sent out invitations to Lou and Josh. And the Democrat side came through and said, yeah, I'd be happy to debate. No problem. And Felix and Tony, right up until the last minute, the actual day of the debate, it was that late before they said that they would not be participating in the debates. And it makes total sense to me. I get it. You know, it's like, you know, in the NFL, they got these pre-games. Why am I going to risk injury in this debate that is not going to have any measurable impact on the outcome of the primary elections? Why bother with it? Just an opportunity to get punched in the mouth and have my record, you know, good or bad, thrown in everybody's faces by two opponents. Because it wouldn't have been Mike and Lou, you know, against each other. It would have been Mike and Lou against Felix and Tony in that debate. So I thought they did it right. 749 on the Ray Gibson Show. 888-825-5880-TALK. Legislature in session got back in there yesterday, and I will admit to not knowing a thing about the uniform services here on Guam. Anybody that wears a uniform, cops, fire department guys, customs guys, whatever. I have no idea. I know what their job is, but I have never understood the way that they are compensated. If you want to get a headache, listen to firefighters talk about how they calculate overtime, vacation, sick, and things like that, and your brain will literally explode. I just don't have the mathematical sense for that kind of thing. And admittedly, so I'm always amazed when I find somebody that does, like Senator Chris Duenas. Buenos and Ave Day.
Ave Day, Ray, Donna D, and Real Joe. How you doing today?
Hey, I'll debate you anytime, anywhere, my man.
Okay, well, that'll be fun. Just make sure there's beer.
If I'm there, there will be beer, Senator Chris Duenas. Just real quick, okay. You guys were talking yesterday about pay caps for customs guys, and as I said, I don't understand the way that kind of thing works. So give me the cliff notes on the genesis of the conversation. Then what happened with the measure?
So the off-duty service, basically performed by customs officers, is typically by request when you know, individuals who are bringing in goods, all various types, could be big box stores, whatever else it is, when there's not enough officers to basically process during regular time, off-duty service can be availed of, but it costs money.
Yeah.
And so at this point, the way it was set up 20 years ago was at a rate, and I think it was done, you know, for a purpose, at a rate of $275, basically per hour, which would take, you know, which would basically comprised of how many officers or one officer, whatever was needed to do the off-duty service that the individual, you know, who's bringing in goods would require to get their stuff out faster.
Okay.
Right? Probably more than likely along the lines of perishables and other things that, you know, that turn over quick, that or maybe during the holiday season and the like, to say, look, I got to get this stuff out. I got to get it in the store if people want to buy it, right? So the thing is that what the debate came down to is the problem your issue with manpower, or is the problem the cap? Because, you know, if you have enough manpower, the cap doesn't matter.
Right, because we'll have enough guys to send out there at whatever the going rate is. It's beginning to feel like habitual overtime, doesn't it?
You know, and that's the thing. I mean, that was the major question on the floor, was like, are we trying to solve and another issue that I brought up was, you know, I'm a little bit uncomfortable with the thought that this is how we're going to also subsidize manpower. You know what I mean? That's not the design here. The design of customs, it has an annual budget. They're supposed to be hiring. Another thing we found out, I can't believe this, Ray. It seems like it's taking about 7 months to turn around an application for a customs officer. That just doesn't make sense to me.
Well,
So
there's no rush if I can make some extra dough, basically being called in when I'm not supposed to be working.
And so that's the thing, you know what I mean? And it was like, look, we don't have enough data to go. So when I was complaining about that, I didn't realize after the public hearing, I didn't see it as part of the committee report, but there was an actual request for additional data, and we got the whole snapshot of the entire year of 2021. There was one day, Ray. There was one day, and I can pull it up for you and do a screenshot. There was one day. There was 55 officers that performed this duty.
Oh.
I was like, how is that even possible? That looks like half of your workforce. So the answer was, there was a couple of days in there were two where there was like 45, but 55 was the top number. The lowest number was 2. And so I was like, whoa. And so I was like, can you explain this one?
Mm-hmm.
And so they go, yeah, there's a couple different reasons every once in a while when you see these 40s and 50s and that kind of manpower.
We're just busy.
We're busy, and there's periodic loads of airplane loads that come in of fish and that are being transshipped, I guess, or maybe even coming through. Well, I don't know the entire deal, but when that happens, it's really all hands on deck for that. And I said, I guess I can understand that. The other is from time to time when there's a shipping issue. I know you had Kathy from Payless on this before on the line, and I think Mike might have spoke to this too. Whenever they have a vessel issue, if a vessel breaks down and has to return to port, doesn't make it to Guam, they start flying stuff in. So we got to get a lot of guys up here to handle that because it's a lot more air traffic than normal.
I think more data and certainly other opportunities to hire guys and get them in faster. 7:55. I got to let you run. A fascinating conversation this is, and if need be, I'll reach out to you a little bit later on because there might be a couple of other fun political gossipy things that we can talk about later. I'll talk to you soon.
Sounds good.
All right.
I'll take the call next time.
You have a fantastic rest of your day. The reason why I wanted to rush through that is I want to make sure I got some time with Simon. Getting word here, and again, one of the big stories that's on the Guam alerts is a significant number of news stories, articles talking about a company called Blink. $BLNK if you want to start buying some shares in their company. Blink Charging signs a deal with Triple J and Guam Power Authority to deploy EV, that's electric vehicle charging stations throughout the island. Not too much detail in this, so I thought I'd get it from Simon Sanchez because he knows a lot about electricity, and it says GPA is a partner here. So what do you know about this?
As much as you just told me. So I'm not surprised. I mean, I'm glad that, I think that's just the beginning of a trend where more electric cars are going to be sold and agreements are going to be made. We're happy to see that products are available. As you know, though, the simpler part is the smaller vehicles. It's when industry, I was talking to Commissioner Michael Tiaco, he's got all the big rigs, getting those folks, when those things draw energy, boy, an electric car, a battery, it's got to be a huge piece of equipment. But, it's just the beginning of the transition away from oil, which everybody hates for all the reasons we know. It's too expensive. And people are looking for ways to do it. On Guam, though, charging station, most people are going to charge it at their house. I mean, we don't, you don't live that far, right? And you can drive a week and then charge it once a week. But for some, but it's convenient for some people in case you forgot. Right, oops, I forgot to charge. I'm going to pull into GPO. I'm going to pull into Triple J. And the fact that Triple J, Nissan, Joey's group, they're all bringing out electric vehicles. So it's the beginning of a trend as people look for a cheaper way for transportation, cheaper way for energy. But thanks for briefing me on it.
Well, there's one. I'll send you a couple of the links. They're all over the place, and in not necessarily the electric vehicle. I mean, this is I got my first taste of the article from an outfit that's generally concerned with Blink as a trading commodity. Blink Charging announced a mutual service agreement with Triple J Enterprises and the Guam Power Authority. The agreement calls for the deployment of Blink charging stations and related services to Triple J properties throughout the island of Guam. So So I can see him over at the Honda place. I can see him over at Triple J's main showroom across the street, and maybe even Outback Steakhouse, for heaven's sakes, as it's a Triple J property. We'll see how it works. They selected Blink for their unique ability to provide comprehensive solutions and for their commitment to assist Guam in their quest to become an affordable, clean energy island where currently fuel costs are some of the highest in the nation. And you must be reading the newspaper as well, looking at 53% worth of an increase in fuel and energy charges. As charging stations are deployed, Triple J and its customers will have access to the latest EV charging technology that provides speed, ease of use, and an affordable energy source for powering the automobiles of the future. So where are we going to put these? How much will it cost to pop in there? And what's GPA's side of all of this? Is it just being able to provide power?
I'm sure GPA just has to make sure the transmission and distribution piece of the equation is set so that you can put these charging stations. Because if you put multiple cars there and they draw, we got to make sure that we can support the energy. But that's all part of bringing renewables onto the grid anyway. When John V talks about that green grid, he's talking about upgrading transmission and distribution. So as more people put solar on their rooftops and more companies do this, the distribution system can handle it. Because remember, you still have to interface with the distribution system, because when it goes to nighttime, you're going to need conventional energy, right? So that's that marriage of interest. And thank you for always informing us and putting a smile on our face. That's why I listen.
I just thought it was interesting. And all right, didn't mean to stump you, but if JB's got any information, or Tracy got some information on this kind of thing, I mean, is Triple J going to be, if I had an electric vehicle, whether it's one of theirs or not, pulled up to their place across from Kmart and plugged into it, will I be able to get that at a cheaper rate than what I can get over at my house? And is GPA going to give them a break on the kilowatt hours? All kinds of other questions that I've got. I'll see if I can get a hold of Tracy or JB on this soon.
And I'll ask them to reach out to you. I don't think the rate will be different. It's just really making sure we can handle the load as people start drawing.
Yeah, there's got to be some significant amp pull on those things. All right, closing in on the top of the hour, Simon Sanchez, Consolidated Commission on Utilities, and you can give him a vote. It's not in the Pika's best. I think you actually have to give him an actual vote when it comes time to hit the polling sites.
Thank you, Ray. I'm trying to buy time on your show. It's sold out.
We're sold out.
Congratulations to you. So that's good. I'll just buy next week. But yeah, I want to make sure that it's been an honor to serve the people for the last 20 years, and I've worked very hard to try to figure all this stuff out and make it better. And I'm still excited about trying to bring down the dang power bill and keep our water and ocean safe. So I'm willing to work at it if the people of Guam will have me. So
I think they've had you for a long time already. I think it's almost a foregone conclusion. 8 o'clock in the morning. I'll talk to you soon.
Haven't had enough.
Some have, but I won't read those comments on the air. It's 8 o'clock in the morning. There's Cy. I'm Ray. Here's Fox.
Annual shot, just like the flu, and John scolded Congress for not expanding COVID relief funds on yesterday's report on COVID learning loss. John said learning losses are important, and we've got to do everything we can to catch up. President Biden got his COVID booster this afternoon. He also called on Congress to pass more COVID relief funding.
This is a global health emergency. If we really want to put COVID behind us, we have to keep up the fight together.
And the president urged more people to get a COVID booster ahead of a potential winter surge. The Defense Department responds to reports suggesting Ukraine was planning to use a dirty bomb.
Defense Department spokesman Brigadier General Pat Ryder telling reporters at the Pentagon Russian allegations that Ukraine is preparing to use a dirty bomb are false, adding,
"We have not seen at this time, though, any indication that Russia has made a decision or intends to employ nuclear weapons or a dirty bomb. But again, it's something that we'll continue to watch closely."
Reiterating there would be consequences if Russia used either.
Fox's Kristen Goodwin. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin has spoken to Russia's Minister of Defense twice, explaining the U.S. will keep lines of communication open between allies and Russia, adding the main focus is to continue to support Ukraine. A magnitude 5.1 earthquake rattled the San Francisco Bay Area, causing some commuter train delays, but no reports of damage or injuries. Wall Street stocks ended higher for the third day straight as earnings reports roll in. The Dow added 337, the Nasdaq up 246. America is listening to Fox News.
Gas is expensive, so let the bank come to you. Through our remote deposit capture, you can deposit your checks into your account from your phone. And with our Dynamite Bank Pacific Visa debit card, you can use your money anytime, anywhere. It's the perfect combo.
Services to choose. Bank Pacific, where others put
is we place roots.
Equal housing lender. Member FDIC. Crank it up.
All too often, governments do too little in some areas, but too much in others. Felix and I want government to provide basic services and stay out of people's lives. Government overreach will not happen during our administration. The Camacho Ada team believes in 3 co-equal branches of government, not having one exert power over the others. For more information on our plans for government services, visit CamachoAdaforGuam.com. This will be a new season.
I'm Felix Camacho.
I'm Tony Ada.
We approve this message.
Britain has a new prime minister.
At 42, Rishi Sunak is the youngest British leader in more than 200 years.
I've just been to Buckingham Palace and accepted His Majesty the King's invitation to form a government in his name.
Sunak was Treasury chief for 2 years until July, losing to Liz Truss, who stepped down less than 50 days into her tenure as prime minister.
Our country is facing a profound economic crisis.
Some claim he's out of touch with the general public. Now he's in charge of fixing the country's finances as millions of Britons struggle to afford food and energy bills. CJ Papa, Fox News.
A Russian court has rejected an appeal by WNBA star Brittany Griner of a 9-year prison sentence for drug possession. Griner was convicted in August after police say they found vape canisters containing cannabis oil in her luggage at a Moscow airport. Amazon is following through with plans to add another way to pay.
Amazon has started accepting payment with Venmo. Some customers in the U.S. will be able to pay for things with the popular service now. Others will have the option by Black Friday, November 25th. Amazon users will need to set it up as a payment option. They'll be prompted to authorize Amazon to use their Venmo account. PayPal, Venmo's parent company, has been working with Amazon to provide the payment service since last year. Amazon previously had preferred credit or debit cards and gift cards for payment. Jenny Cosola, Fox News.
The number of Americans who do not have a bank account fell to a record low last year. A new report from the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation found 4.5% of Americans, or about 5.9 million households, were without a bank account in 2021. That's the lowest level since the FDIC started tracking the data in 2009. I'm Lisa Silasara. This is Fox News.
Come try Guam's original Chamorro restaurant with Pica's best 5 years running. Mezcla Chamorro Fusion Bistro. Experience Chef Peter's candied salmon over scallion coconut rice, octopus to naktak, Chamorro platter, and their award-winning gourmet hamburgers. Or if you're looking for something healthy, try their keto-friendly menu. Come and enjoy Mezcla's half-a-day service at their Hagåtña and Grand Plaza Tuman location. Call their Hagåtña location at 479-2652 for reservations.
I'm Dr. Sam Abini Young. I've always believed in the value of education, effort, humility, and accountability. As your senator, I will prioritize the training and education of students and workers to support the rebuilding of our economy. I understand our community's need for affordable living and housing and the need for aggressive drug enforcement to stop its serious impact. And there's the need for smarter and smaller government, like a part-time legislature that works for Guam and having more efficient GovGuam departments. Please support me with one of your votes for senator to work for you on these issues. I'm Dr. Sam Abini Young.
Paid for by friends of Sam Abini Young, Gina Ramos, Treasurer.
A message from KFC's Colonel Sanders.
I spent months searching the world over for the very best Nashville hot chicken recipe. Then I found it in the last place I ever expected, Nashville. KFC's new Nashville hot chicken with a legendary blend of spicy and smoky flavor.
KFC's Nashville Hot is back on Guam for a limited time. Get yours today. It's finger licking good.
Is your business ready for digital transformation? The latest Wi-Fi technology is here, and it's Docomo Pacific's WorkPass, powered by Plume. WorkPass unlocks connectivity, productivity, and security tools all in the palm of your hand. Access features like adaptive Wi-Fi, guest and employee networks, evolving AI security, plus so much more. To learn more about WorkPass, visit business.docomopacific.com. Docomo Pacific Business. Work better together.
Your local news is brought to you by Nambo Insurance. Skip the line, pay online. It's fast, easy, and secure. Visit Nambo.com for more information.
Half a day, it's 8:07. I'm Donna DeJesus with a look at your local news on The Point. Feeding a family, driving to work, and keeping the lights on got pricier by up to 15.8 percent to 53% in just a year. The rapid price increases continue to trouble Guam residents, from eggs to fish, rice, vehicle fuel, electricity, computers, housing rental, and prescription drug. The newly revised July to September 2022 Consumer Price Index report states that the overall price of common goods and services on Guam went up by 7.3% in the past year, with the top 5 price increases being electricity, floor coverings, eggs, computers, and personal care services. Guam Bureau of Statistics and Plans Deputy Director Matthew Santos says that while the 12-month change for Guam seems high, it is below what the U.S. is seeing. The U.S. Consumer Price Index is in 12 months ending in September 2022 was up 8.2%. For the food index, the increase in the U.S. was at 11.2%, while Guam's was 8.6%. See Yourself in Cyber is the theme for this year's National Cybersecurity Awareness Month. Guam Homeland Security spokesperson Jenna Blas says this is an opportunity to help protect ourselves and one another online as threats to technology and confidential data become more commonplace. Guam Homeland sheds light on the urgency of cybersecurity every October, but it's critical to protect yourself from cyber threats year-round. Blas says the Mariana Regional Fusion Center continues to receive reports of people being asked to provide their personal information either through WhatsApp or email. Blas suggests updating software, having strong passwords, and enabling multi-factor authentication. Visit cisa.gov for more cybersecurity resources to stay safe and secure online. More news after this.
Go green, go hybrid. Go to Nanbo Insurance, and your next power bill is on us. Insure your hybrid car at Nanbo and get up to $350 towards your next power bill. That's instant savings for keeping our island clean and green. Nanbo has been providing Guam with over 50 years of reliable and affordable auto insurance. At Nanbo, it pays to go green. Terms and conditions apply. Visit nanbo.com or call 477-9754 for details.
Guam's unemployment fell to 4.8% in June, the lowest since the COVID-19 pandemic started. A newly released government report shows that over 50,000 people did not want a job during the survey period. These consisted of civilian residents who were mostly in their retirement age, stay-at-home parents, and adult students who wanted to focus on their studies. There were 3,380 unemployed people in June of 2022, a decrease from the 8,150 unemployed in June 2021, and a significant drop from the 12,660 in just 3 months prior to that. In December of 2020, the rate was 19.4%. Unemployment rate was at 16.5% in March 2021 and continued to drop until reaching 4.8% in June of this year. Labor chief economist Gary Hiles says the island's economic recovery has accelerated substantially in recent months, adding tourism and construction are picking up. Labor director David Del Sola says the latest numbers show that Guam continues its path to economic recovery. The report is available online at dol.guam.gov. And the Guam Election Commission met Monday night to discuss ways to speed up the election night ballot count. Independent Commissioner Pat Seville says they all felt that the primary election did not go as smoothly as it could have because of the lengthy tabulation time at Election Central. Precinct officials were finding major delays at the reconciliation station. Seville says 20 precincts were still not balanced out by 2 a.m., and the final precincts were after 4 a.m., and this is where he says commission officials need to focus their attention. The commissioners suggested a new policy to Executive Director Maria Pangilinan, and that's if within 2 hours of the reconciliation process a precinct is not balanced out or close to balancing out, it should be considered a red flag for notifying the commission, which would immediately address the situation. And those are your top stories. Now back to Ray with weather.
What am I doing weather now?
I guess.
Stinking. I don't know. I've been going through all the paperwork I've got assembled in front of me because there's literally tons of stories that I haven't done yet. Tons of really, really interesting stuff. stuff, and I'll get around to doing that. I'm going to do the weather quickly. You know why? So we can get to the important part of the program, which is celebrity birthdays in just a moment. Partly sunny today, highs near 86 degrees, winds out east, 7 to 9 miles an hour. About the same thing this evening under mostly cloudy skies. They're still talking about scattered showers and thunder showers. I have not seen anything like that in the radar imagery, and I'm not seeing it on the satellite. But if they're putting it in there, there must be a pretty good reason. Mostly cloudy tomorrow. Daytime highs near 85 degrees. Scattered showers and thunderstorms in the forecast for then and Friday as well. Mostly cloudy all the way through the end of the week. Heat index today, 92, and sunset tonight is going to be at 5:56. There it is, news and weather together on The Point.
Family Finance has been serving the people of Guam since 1959, and they will continue to be there for you in the years to come. Whether you're looking to get a personal loan for that summer vacation or paying off those long overdue bills, Family Finance has got you covered. Apply for a personal loan from $1,000 up to $4,100 by calling Family Finance in Hagåtña at 671-475-4545, Upper Tumon 671-647-5626, or in Dededo 671-633-4473.
Guam Regional Medical City was awarded Advanced Primary Stroke Center certification from the Joint Commission. What does this mean? It means our neuroscience team is equipped with the latest technology and a team of the finest neurological doctors to treat stroke, which is one of the leading causes of death on Guam. GRMC, reflecting our commitment to providing safe and quality patient care. For more information about GRMC, visit us at grmc.gu, or to make an appointment, call 671-633-GRMC.
So you know what? Somebody chimed in earlier. We were busy. We were busy in the last hour, the Extra Point news and calls and whatever. But I was talking about a new one of these exercises. I don't know why this is in the Guam thing, but there's apparently an exercise going on in Hawaii. It's called Resolute Dragon.
Resolute Dragon.
Didn't that sound sexy?
Yeah.
I mean, where you
Is that a Pokemon?
A Resolute Dragon should be a Pokemon. And it wouldn't surprise me if they've gotten to the point where we just don't have any good names for exercises
Sounds
anymore.
Chinese,
so
Ray.
we'll go ahead and take this. It's a Resolute Dragon is the thing, and they're going to be enhancing participating forces' interoperability to track and report on air and missile defense targets. Important to Guam as they develop these systems that we try to put together a 360-degree...
When you said exercise,
yes,
I thought you meant like aerobics.
No, military exercises, Donna D, because we have so many military here.
I was like, what is this, like a yoga position? What'd you call it again? Resolute
Dragon? Resolute Dragon is the name of it. And I thank God they're finally going back to more macho kind of, what's the word? Paternalistic names.
What's the other one? Something like honeybee or something?
The last one was Golden Bee.
Oh, Golden Bee.
I remember meeting some people from the Air Force that weekend going, oh my God, who's in charge of the Air Force now? First of all, we're dropping pronouns, and then next thing now we've got it's an exercise supposed to scare the hell out of the Chinese and the North Koreans, and it's called Golden Bee? Really? Do you know how far away the word bee is from P? I mean, it's just a handful of consonants away from getting from a golden bee to a golden pea. I said, no, but somebody's not thinking. Somebody needs to lose their job. So I think now they're getting back into some more macho kind of, like I said, not paternity, but yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. But guy names. We're doing guy names again. Thank God. So the Resolute Dragon can join the Cope North and all of the other stuff. And we're not going to do golden peas anymore here. 8:15 in the morning. Who's on the phone?
That's Cosendo.
Kaz is on the line. Okay, wait. Okay, Kaz can join in on this. Join me and Donna D. I have not yet gotten around to doing the celebrity birthdays, etc. But we'll do that, and you can chime in if you want to. Okay, Kaz?
Okay.
I appreciate it. All right, so celebrity birthday number 1 from Charlie's Angels. I always thought she was the cutest. Jacqueline Smith.
Ow. She was pretty hot.
Might still be 77 years old. Pat Sajak is 76. Can I buy a vowel here?
Wow, he's 76.
Hillary Clinton 75. Who would have thought that she was younger than Pat Sajak? Lauren Toos, who's you might not recall the reference. Does anybody remember the Love Boat?
Yes.
All right, she was Julie. Oh, still. Yeah. Yeah.
Was she the events coordinator?
She was the events coordinator. She was like one of those things.
I'm sorry, man.
Anyway,
I know Isaac.
Is 69 years old. The kids will know this one. Julian Dennison. You might remember her from Godzilla vs. Kong. No, nobody watched that movie. No. How about this? You remember Deadpool 2? She played Fire Fist in Deadpool 2. No, not ringing a bell. Anyway, she is 20 years old.
I don't know if I even watched Deadpool 2. She's 20?
This is a lackluster kind of celebrity birthday. Huh?
Yeah, that's Dale Balil.
Yeah, I got you. All right. It's Pumpkin Day and Worldwide Howl at the Moon Night.
Okay.
Anything?
Ooh.
Close enough, Cos. Close enough. 8-7. Now, the reason why we got you keep that up, you're going to get your own jingle. Cos Endo on the line here for a couple of reasons. One of them had to do, and you came to mind almost exactly as I was beginning the conversation with Brandon Idlett, one of the weather twins that we've got here on Guam, and now dual world record holders for the largest, they call it what, timber construction project, the tallest and the biggest ones. Now, we've got 2 new world records. And I was thinking it wasn't all that long ago where you and I and the guys over at Nissan set a world record that is still, I believe, in the Guinness Book of World Records.
That's right. Yeah, we beat big old Texas for that record. But, yeah, congratulations to the Wonder Power Twins.
Yep.
On their world record. I had the privilege of meeting them at a Rotary function where they were talking about the weather. But now I know why all the weather reports lately have been really whacked, because they've been too busy making world records.
Well, making the world record is one thing, but as you know from doing this with Nissan, it's verifying it and meeting up with the very stringent requirements of the world records people. It's not like you can just say, "Oh yeah, me and my cousin Vern, we did this thing with a bunch of Nissan cars and it was fun." You've actually got to have documentation in and out and all the way through, and it's got to be verifiable from all kinds of different angles.
That's right. It's a real tricky process, and you got one of 2 ways to do it. You can bring a adjudicator from Guinness, and they usually, for some reason, are in faraway places that cost tens of thousands of dollars to bring them over.
Yeah.
Or you can document the process, and for those guys that are looking to break world records, make sure you do it when it's not COVID, because that was our problem. We did ours, and then we had this COVID period, and nobody at Guinness was working for about a year and a half. So kudos to those guys for getting their certification.
Could not be prouder of those 2 young men and their families and an army of friends that put it all together. And then I follow Cos on Instagram and social media, and usually it's a lot of stuff with mom and the kids. Just incredible bunch of kids that you've got there, and Kelly out doing traveling and stuff like that. But every once in a while you will point to you'll put something up on the social media that makes reference to one of Guam's most popular podcasts. And Cos is the host of it, and you have recently had a very special guest on your podcast.
I did. I had the Maga Haga on the studio at the Stadio, and I got to finally say what I've always wanted to say in my best British accent. Hello, Governor.
What an interesting way to start the show. Now, having been in that studio and sitting in the chair and doing a Q&A with Cos Endo here, my recollection is I could bring whatever beer I wanted to. Did the governor bring any spirits?
Well, she was still on official duty time, so I did have her favorite drink on the standby. I got intel from her son what she liked to drink if she has an occasional indulgence, so I have that ready.
Can you share?
Yeah, I think it's no secret. She loves a Malibu Pine with Diet Coke. So, rum and Coke. Who knew?
Notwithstanding any bias that I have as being a representative of the Republican branch of the Underwood Party, I can get behind that because I kind of like a Malibu Pine every once in a while as well.
Yeah, well, she was very disciplined. I try to get all my guests to have a drink, and you were in the firing chair there. Have a drink, have a drink. But she was very, very disciplined. She said she'll have one probably much later in the evening after she's retired for home duties.
So I'm trying to remember. I mean, when we were in COVID times, and you were just starting off the podcast, you did one. It was a very special episode where you kind of took apart what you had considered to be a great divide in the community, and spelled out, lined out an opportunity for the governor to, mend fences and bring members of the community together. I mean, there were a lot of people that were a lot of people. I was among them, and a number of other people went out. We were actually protesting some of the what we consider to be oversteps and overreach that the government of Guam was taking. We thought that it was much of it was overreach and much of it was unnecessary. And you kind of found a way to do a little bit of a hands across the water thing that did not, unfortunately, take. Did that come up in the conversation yesterday?
Well, when I made that particular podcast, it was to encourage Guam to reopen, sooner than later.
Mm-hmm.
And when I made that, I did that along to the governor's office, and I know that she listened to it. And so I was kind of like wondering if she's going to bring it up, or if she would even decline to come on. But to her credit, she was fine with it. And what I basically said was, you can't make binary choices in difficult times.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many other people's lives that don't fit on the left or right. There's a lot of middle. So, what this was an open invitation of just tell her, hey, set the record straight if you like. If you don't, that's fine. But
mm-hmm.
I think that what everybody deserves is 20, 30 minutes of uninterrupted time to explain themselves, without peppering them with fantastic questions. And sometimes when you just allow people to talk on their own, they reveal a lot more.
A very revealing episode of Mint Talks is available online, episode number 25 with William Ray Gibson. Many of the Mint Talks run about 45 minutes, hour, something like that. Kaz and I were together for in excess of 2 hours on that particular episode. I'm not saying that you need to go to Mint Talks right now and find it. Frankly, I'd like to hear what the governor's got to say. When will this be available online?
Well, I usually give my guests the courtesy, like when things go out, because sometimes they want to be able to listen to it. In her case, I wanted to give her the courtesy. I said, "Hey, do you want it out after the general election, or is it before?" She goes,
Wait a second. What'd she say?
Well, I did talk to her about that specifically with her staff, and they're like, "Yeah, it's cool. We got nothing to hide." So kudos to them. It'll come out on this Friday. This Friday, I'll drop it.
All right. And how do people get a hold of Mint Talks? Where can we find your podcast?
Well, they can always go to the proper website proper, minttalks.com, or they can also just put Mint Talks on Spotify or Apple Podcasts and in the search, and it'll pop up.
All right. All right. And no charge for anything like this?
No charge.
Is there any? Let me ask you this: is there anything in the podcast with Governor that is going to drop on Friday that Felix and Tony would really like to hear?
Well, the governor's smarter than that. I don't think she's going to give them anything to feast on. But you never know. This is election time, so we did talk a little bit about election and the brutality of it. And but if you whether she wins her second term or whether she doesn't, if you really want to understand the governor, I suggest everybody read her dad's book, Jesus in Little America.
Yep.
That goes a long ways to explaining how her thought process goes, because we're all byproducts of our parents. Some good, some bad of it, but like you are with your dad, you're, like you say, you're a Bill Gibson conservative.
Mm-hmm.
That came from somewhere. Who you are came from somewhere. And I took the time to prepare for this interview. I read her book. I read his book. Short read, very good book. And it gives you a much better insight on her decision-making process. And we talked about that a little bit.
Huh. That part will be very, very interesting. I had the great pleasure of knowing her old man and spending some time, with my elevator speeches, literally in the elevator at the Bank of Guam once upon a time, and I kind of always had a great deal of respect for him. It'll be an interesting conversation. Mint Talks is the name of Kaz Endo's big podcast, and getting back to the original reason behind the telephone call on record breaking. Has anybody broken the Nissan world record for the large parade of Nissans? Has anybody come close to breaking that Guam record?
No, man, we're untouchable, and maybe at this point, I don't think it'll be broken.
Good news. 8:26 in the morning. Cosmonaut, I'll talk to you pretty soon. You have a fantastic time. Hope I get to see you and the kids hanging out over at Pirates Cove sometime soon.
Yeah, one more thing, Greg. I'll be back on your show next week to talk about Engine. Okay, that's our big show for Nissan. It's basically our birthday.
Yeah,
can do. November 12th.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah, on my daughter's birthday, and we're still trying to figure out what it is that she wants to do. You have a great day. I'll see you soon, and next week for Engine.
Yes, sir. Okay, thanks.
Okay, Brett. 888-8255-888. TALK. It's 8:27 in the morning, and I got time to get this on. And I think of everything that I talk about today, this might be among the most important things that you hear in this broadcast. From Guam Community College, Isabella Hernandez. Good morning, Isabella.
Good morning.
Is that what they call you around the house?
Actually, they call me Bella, but you can call me that, sir.
Sir. Did you just sirred me? You just sirred me? Oh, I was going to follow you on Instagram, but forget about it now. You served me here. Anyway, Bella Hernandez on the line here, and the reason why is because a couple of weeks ago I made a big deal about a big bake sale that they had over at GCC, and normally they do these things kind of once a quarter, once every semester or something like that. But they have followed this up with another culinary bake sale going on over at GCC. Tell me the story.
Okay, so our classes, we love to give back to everyone, and so we like to bake goods, or we like to either have our barbecue. We either do barbecues or baking. So this time we're doing our bake sale, our annual bake sale, and so we'll be, I know that's everyone around me. I just started this program, and everyone in my family is always like, oh, let me know about that bake sale, Everyone enjoys that. And so this is actually my first year, and so I'm excited to do this for as a baker. Yeah.
Now, and baking is anybody spends any time in the kitchen knows. I mean, there's a thing. I want to say there's an art. There's a magic to it at the same time. I mean, it's not like just throwing ingredients together and then watching the stick it in the oven and then you take it out. There's magic that goes into it. There are some things that need some time to rise. There are certain things you put into it to get it to rise, and certain wait times, and then even things that exist in the air. You guys are going to be doing a sourdough, and a sourdough, gets a lot of its flavor, a lot of the nuance from its environment, from its surroundings.
Yes.
I think that's awesome. All right, so this is now this is the other part. It's tomorrow, everybody. That's the thing that you got to do. It is tomorrow from 4 until what time you guys going to be finishing?
5:15 p.m.
That sounds kind of like a short little guardrail of time, from 4 in the afternoon to 5:15 in the afternoon. Do you suppose this culinary, these items are going to go? They're going to sell out that fast?
Yes, actually, we had one big sale a week and a half ago, and that we sold out actually really fast. So this time we're trying to do the same thing, but also make sure that everyone gets something.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Yeah. All right, now a couple of things that are also worth noting is it's a bake sale. So bring some folding money. I don't know that you guys are doing PayPals or the squares or taking credit cards and checks, right? You want actual folding money, right?
Yeah. So cash, yes.
All right, Isabella on the line. What kind of items are you going to be selling tomorrow between 4 and 5:15?
Yes, so we will be selling large loaves of bread. So that's like milk bread, sourdough bread, and there's more. Then we have sweet bread and cake, rolls, muffin tray, banana bread, mini cake, and cream puffs. And then,
don't call Joe that. You know, you can call me sir, but don't call Joe Cream Puff. He's a little bit tender about things like that. So where are you going to work now that you're on your way? You're welcome, Trina. You're on your way now to getting into the culinary field. Where do you want to work when you're all done with this?
well, I do want to work maybe at one of the hotels or maybe one of the local bakeries here because I actually really love to bake, and I feel like maybe the local businesses would just love maybe more bakers out there, and yeah.
All right. Well, I'm familiar with a couple of those outlets that you just mentioned. I know that there's going to be a huge demand when they reopen. What used to be the Fiesta downtown in Tumon is going to be reopened as the Crown, and I know that a big emphasis on the Crown is going to be on baked goods. So when you go down there to apply, let me know, and I'll see if I can give you a couple of names of people to talk to. All right.
Yes, sir. Yes,
all right.
sir.
And she's sirring me again. And if you want to work in kind of an industrial place, I've got contacts over at American Bakery, and maybe they'd like to take somebody new and let you be the new promise and the new hope for their particular bakery business. All right.
Oh, yes. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome, Isabella. I'm so glad that I had a chance to talk to you about this, and I wish you and the rest of your cohorts over at GCC just an incredible amount of success. And let me know next time you guys are going to be doing this so we can get in a little bit earlier on the publicity, all right?
Yes, I will definitely let you know. And thank you so much for having me.
You're very welcome, Bella. I'll talk to you soon. 8:32 in the morning on the Ray Gibson Show. What are you pointing at?
Trina said to check maybe she has info there.
I don't know. She says to check something. Or says,
that one up there.
Okay. On the WhatsApp. Isabella, I'll talk to you pretty soon. 888-8255-888-TALK. So Trina is writing in on the thing and is saying, thank you very much, Rupert, which is a nickname that only she and I understand. But she had some other things that she wanted me to talk about. Oh, it looks like a menu here. Okay. I'll WhatsApp this to you because WhatsApp is working again. Yay! All right, so we've got large loaves, individual bread rolls, and sweetbreads, etc. They've got a Hokkaido bread. Yum. That's we call that milk bread. Sourdough loaf, focaccia bread, and challah bread. There's because Diwali, right? Sweetbreads. We've got cinnamon rolls, muffin trays, banana breads, chocolate mini cakes, eclairs, and cream puffs. Real Joe.
Yeah.
All right, and it gets even better. Oh, my God. Spicy Spam bread, pigs in a blanket, ham and cheese.
To that.
We've got scones and muffins and assorted cookies and a mango turnover. Everything between two. The most expensive thing that we're going to get is the large loaf of Hokkaido bread. That's $9. Everything else is somewhere between $2.50 and that. So a lot of folding money. Get your bread on Carb Up with our friends over at GCC. Again, 4 to 5:15 tomorrow. Culinary classroom. That's E400 at GCC. Studio time is 8:34. Donna D with the last big look at news and headlines coming up next.
A great humanitarian once said that the difference between a career politician and a leader is the politician cares about the number of years served and the just cares about serving. This defines Senator Chris Duenas. He is a seasoned statesman whose focus has always been on being a champion for the masses and a fighter for the truth. Re-elect Senator Chris Duenas, speaking up for you.
I am Chris Duenas, and I approve this message.
Edward Alvarez, Treasurer.
Are you looking for a new place to hang out with your friends? Let's go along the sidelines at Sidelines Bar and Grill. Located at 154 Iriarty Road, Unit 4 and 5 in Tamuning behind Royal Bigs. Sidelines, a hidden gem with nothing but great things to offer. Great atmosphere, great food, top shelf drinks, and a great team. What are we waiting for? Let the fun begin at Sidelines Bar and Grill. Open daily from 3 p.m. to 2 a.m. See you there.
It's that time of year again. It's Pika's Best. Vote now on GuamPDN.com. Please vote Take Care for Best Medical Insurance Company. Vote FHB Health Center for Best Medical Clinic, Best Dental Clinic, and Best Eye Clinic. Take Care, our island, your health plan.
Half a day. I'm Bisho Mendiola, and I'm running for senator to promote lower cost of living, increase our food security, and ignite new economic sector development. I will put to work my fresh ideas, my experience as a small business owner to create legislation that removes the red tape on our economic growth. I want to pave the way to a prosperous, wealthy, and self-sustainable island community. I'm Bishop Mendiola, number 13 on the Republican ballot, and I approve this message.
8:36 Ray Gibson Show, GCC 4 to 5:15. If you want to tomorrow, if you want to get in on their bake sale, and I try to be as urgent as possible as I'm talking about this, but they just did one a couple of weeks ago. They're doing another one tomorrow, and I got a feeling that this might be one of those things that the kids just enjoy the hell out of doing and want to do it all the time. And you know they're getting this great education from there, and there is a market for people to put together all kinds of great quality breads around here. In fact, it's a conversation that it came up the last time that Ben and Anna and I were talking over at Carabao about you know the kinds of bread that they need to be able to make all the incredible sandos that they've got, plus all the stuff that they prepare on a 5-day-a-week basis over at Carabao. And you're always looking for somebody that can help in that process, right?
Absolutely.
It's Anna Johnson from Calabao's on. Are we watching any games today? I mean, it's the Padres and who else in the World Series?
Oh man, yeah, we've moved on to World Series. We've got Houston Astros and the Philadelphia Phillies starting on Saturday morning.
Okay, so what happened to the Padres?
They unfortunately lost to the Phillies, but we're excited for the Phillies. So
well, okay. So now we've had this conversation. I don't know jack about sports, but you know, and I get my inspiration from the fans around me. So if I found myself at Carabao in front of the big screen again, which team should I be rooting for in the 2023 World Series? 2022.
Well, I mean, I can't make you cheer for anybody, but I mean, I would go for Phillies. So I'm a National League fan through and through. So as much as I love Dusty Baker from Astros, got to go for the Phillies. All
right, because they're now your standard bearer in the World Series. Have they already started that, by the way? Have we started the World Series?
Game 1 is Saturday morning. So we got Game 1, 2, Saturday and Sunday.
But you're busy Saturday morning.
I am occasionally busy.
You're going to be very busy on Saturday morning. The folks over at Carabao are working with Guahan Paws for Pets, and I had Ellie from Gain on for a little bit yesterday, and you know they're always talking about different organizations that they work with over at Gain, including Paws for Pets, and you guys are going to be helping them out. What's the name of the event on Saturday?
We're doing a pet costume contest, so it's a pre-Halloween bash.
Pet costume. All right, now this is Donna and I were talking about this during the break. This is how you can tell that you've got a well-behaved, well-trained pet if the pet lets you put a costume on it, or if the pet can keep the costume on any longer than about 10 or 15 seconds. Because I got a cat, and there's no way that cat will sit still for anything on its hair. You know what I mean?
Yes, absolutely. I have a couple of those too.
All right. Well, you got a couple of dogs. Will they sit still?
I will be entering both of my puppies. One of them, I don't know if he'll wear a costume, but yeah, so we're going to do pet costumes starting at 4:30, actually. We're going to do a little doggy parade.
All right, so this thing starts at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, goes until 6 over at Carabao. I think it's going to be a very, as most of them are, the events over at Carabao, I think it's going to be a very, very well-attended event. What do people need to do to sign up? Is this one of those things you just show up and we'll do a little countdown on the stage?
Yeah, as long as you register your pet before 4:30, and then at 5 o'clock, we're going to do a fashion show and have judging, and you know, it's going to be hard to do less than 10 out of 10 for a costume show. But, yeah, between 1 and 6, we're selling raffle tickets, entries, and we have dozens and dozens of gifts donated by all sorts of different organizations, Southern Mountain Gear, Idlewild, Medusa Island Clothing, The Barkery, at all sorts.
The Barkery, okay. Stuff I never really heard from. And right around the corner from Carabao is a great pet store, if you will, if there's things that you need. And maybe they've got some contests at the last minute. I think it's going to be fun. How much to enter my cat?
It will be $5 for your cat, right? It'll be perfect.
Okay, well, I just said pet. Because you just said pet costume contest. I think there might be people that will assume that this is open only to dogs. There's all kinds of unusual pets out there. As I said, I've got a one-eyed cat. Donna's got an iguana.
No.
I'm sorry, just playing around. Donna is anti-iguana at this time. Maybe a pet tree snake or something like that. Bring it, put it in a costume, and get yourself signed up for the registration. $5 gets you in. What's the big prize? for number one cutest pet or whatever?
We've got some gifts from Carabao that we're going to give away, and then, as I said, we've got these wonderful, wonderful donations from all sorts of.
This has got to sound like everybody's going to win something.
I mean, how can you not give a 10 out of a 10 to an adorable animal?
Right, exactly. and the folks from Paws for Pets are going to be there, so that's going to be nice. You got questions about that? Maybe some game people are going to be showing up as well. If you want information, Paws for Pets has got a Facebook page, Guahan Paws for Pets. Go there and see everything that you need to know. If I wanted to come by, say tonight and register, could I?
Yes, I will start pre-registration, and I will happily get people pre-registered starting today at Carabao.
All right. One last question before I let you go, because I know how crazy busy you guys are in the beer business. This time, a couple of weeks ago, we were talking, you had a job fair over at Carabao, and I can't tell as a customer because, I just know the guys and the girls that work on the floor. Were you able to hire anybody for the kitchen and back of house?
We have hired a couple people. We are still looking, though. We are still looking for line cooks and brewers for those that are interested. But yes, we were able to hire several people. Mm-hmm. But if you're still interested, please don't be afraid. Come out and fill out an application.
Can just go to Carabao when they're open and do all of that stuff. If anybody wanted to find you online, there's a Carabao on Instagram and a Carabao on Facebook, right?
Yep, we've got a website, Instagram, Facebook.
Gotcha. 8:42 in the morning. Always fun talking with you. Better fun to see you. Hug and a kiss to Ben for me, all right?
Absolutely. Just from you, Ray.
Yes, it is. 8:42 in the morning, among my favorite people on Guam, running the place over at Carabao. And doing it for the pets. Real Joe, you going to bring a pet by?
Yeah,
and dress
man.
it up in a Halloween costume?
I've got a chicken or two.
Okay.
I got a chicken harness. Bring him along.
Okay, my absolute favorite doggy pet costume is Shih Tzus that are dressed up to look like those creatures from Star Wars 2.
Yeah.
Those ones up the Ewoks.
The Ewoks.
Yeah. All right, well, it's 8:43. Did we do the last break before we get into news? We haven't done that yet.
We did already, but we got to do the news.
Now we have to do the actual news.
Yes, you did the break already?
Yes,
I didn't even
sir.
notice. Oh, because that's when we were talking about the pet.
I got you. It's all right. Thank you, sir. Cream Puff. Sir Cream Puff is his name. And that's another military exercise. We can call it Operation,
Cream Puff?
Operation
Annoyed Cream Puff. We'll get it because it's usually a two-word name. Now with news and headlines, here's Donna D. Donna, how do we do?
39-year-old Narty Billy has been charged for repeatedly punching a child in the face. Court documents state the 9-year-old girl knocked on Billy's door when she was attacked. The child repeatedly asked Billy to stop hurting her, but she refused. Billy admitted to officers that she was wrong, adding that she only slapped the child. She was charged with child abuse and family violence. And the initial date for road blockage on Ipoh Road was October 24, but the contractor began working on setting up traffic barriers yesterday. Ipoh Road will be under construction for 1 year. There will be access on the road for those who live, work, or have business in the area. Now that the project is underway, there will be no access for through traffic during the road closure period between the SDA clinic and the Poly San Vitores Road intersection in front of Hilton. And the Veterans Outreach at Top of the Mar in Nimitz Hill wraps up today. This is an opportunity for island veterans to avail of services like diabetic foot checks, vaccines, and testing for hepatitis C. The event is made possible by VA Pacific Islands Healthcare System based out of Hawaii. The VA outreach will be today from 10 to 4 at Top of the Mar. And that was your last look at local headlines on The Point. Back to Ray. What's so funny?
I'm stupid.
Why?
You're supposed to...
No,
wait.
Come on, sir.
You're supposed to disagree with me. You're not supposed to ask why.
No, but why, though?
Because my daughter is reaching out, and she wants to do something, and she's like, I want to go to PTC on Friday.
PTC? Why?
Yeah.
Well, and I'm going, well, what's PTC? I thought she'd maybe, was typing too fast and wanted to put CPK or something like that. And I'm like, well, what's PTC? And she says, well, parent-teacher conference, of course.
Why?
Oh, well, I don't know. But anyway, so I was wondering where we were eating this place
You're
called
eating at PTC.
At PTC, 8:45 in the morning. On screen right now, there's Army and beautiful Sarita, and there's Mandy in the background. I can't make out the kid behind Army. That's PTC. They're already at PTC.
Oh, that's PTC. I was like, what restaurant is that? That has that kind of wall.
John F. Kennedy High School restaurant is where they're at right now, getting their PTC grind on. 8:46 in the Ray Gibson Show. More stuff coming up. Stick around.
iPhone 14 Pro, all systems pro. Capture incredible detail with a 48-megapixel main camera. Experience iPhone in a whole new way with dynamic island and always-on display. And crash detection, a new safety feature that calls for help when you can't. Now, for a limited time, receive a $200 Visa gift card on us when you sign up for a new line with the purchase of your iPhone 14. Come into GTA today and experience the new iPhone 14 series of phones. It's all systems pro. Terms and conditions may apply. Visit GTA.net for more information. GTA, we start with you.
A cat has 9 lives. Baseball gives us 9 innings and 9 players on the field. Greek mythology introduced us to 9 muses. A stitch in time saves 9. Everyone wants to dress to the nines or have the whole 9 yards. And happiness is found on cloud 9. This election, please vote number 9, Attorney Thomas Fisher for senator on the Republican ballot.
I'm Thomas Fisher, and I approve this message.
Drake Diaz, treasurer.
Vince Borja epitomizes determination. His family was so poor that he received his first pillow when he joined the Army. Vince went from extreme poverty to obtaining a master's degree, becoming a non-commissioned officer in the Army, working for a Fortune 500 company, and becoming an entrepreneur. Vince even gave up his job as a professor so he could run and serve his people. You cannot teach grit and determination. With Vince Borja, you don't have to. It's in his DNA. So is leadership. Vote Vince Borja for senator. Determination has a name.
My name is Vince Borja, and I approve this message.
Right on. Ray Gibson Show at 8:47. Portions brought to you by APL, American President Lines, a global presence with a local home. And I've been talking about this all morning long. You got to go try it. This might be one of those limited time deals, but the guys over at Wendy's here on Guam have got a brand new French toast sticks made with real eggs. They dip it in milk custard. There's the hint of vanilla. Whenever we play that, it's one of a couple of things. And this time, it's a hint of vanilla, available in a 4-piece, 6-piece, or a 6-piece combo with seasoned potatoes and a refreshing, I got to say this right, cold brew iced coffee. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's. I don't want to lean back on any kind of accolades here, but I wonder to what degree I've influenced the culinary urges of the island of Guam. Maybe a little bit of, because I was wondering, I should have gone yesterday to check. I wanted to see if they'd run out of the Chamorro sausage over at Payless.
Oh, man.
Or at Kimchi Mart. I don't know, because I was talking about it a whole lot yesterday. And even as I'm driving home, I was driving home yesterday, and I was thinking, I'd just pull into the Payless and go get myself a batch of that stuff and then, whip that up for lunch or something like that. And then I remembered I wanted to take a nap. And then, the whole thing it popped out of my head. But I'm just wondering to what degree we might be influencing certain, as I said, culinary urges here when we talk about food, like the kind they've got over at Wendy's and whatever it is that Ann and Ben are whipping up over at the Carabao place. 8:49 in the morning, and a bunch of stuff that I get. I'd love to be able to take credit and say all of the very interesting things that we talk about on the radio, or things that I pull out of the very air. And in my own imagination, my own just simple observations of what life is like on Guam. But nothing could be further from the truth. Oftentimes, spend a lot of time that first hour when I get here going over the internet, seeing what's happening in social media, see what people are talking about, the Twitters, local Facebook, Guam Twitter. There's a bunch of people on Guam that frequent Twitter and will make their opinions known about things like that. Of course, no shortage of that on your Facebooks, Instagrams, whatever. And then there's the Google alerts. Years ago, I learned this handy trick. If you do a search for something, you can turn that into an alert. So if you want to know about Guam, you can make an alert with Google, and they will, every time Guam comes up, say, okay, here's a story about Guam, and then stick it into a report. Every morning, I get a report from Google on all of the stories all around the world that mention Guam. And it's only a little bit upside down these days, because there's a journalist at a newspaper in the Philippines whose name is Guam, and every time he writes a story, Maybe she writes. I don't know. I've
Alert,
never seen
alert.
a picture. Yeah, it pops up in the alert. And they're usually pretty interesting yet gruesome stories about life in the barangays in the Philippines. Very, kind of just that kind of provincial life that
Husband and wife.
Oh, husband, wife, mailman, husband, wife, security guard. Yeah. I might actually have one or two of those in front of me now. But this came in. This was on the alert sheet this morning, and it's from the Philippines Expat Forum. And you can there. Because there are, around the world, Americans that have decided that they don't want to live in the continental United States or the actual states or maybe even territories and want to go live someplace else. Expat Forum is the name of what you're looking for. And they've got different divisions in this. So you can, obviously there's the home page. Then they go into forums, and then the forums are broken down by geographic area. Ours is Asia, and there is one in particular. For some guys, they're listening right now. I might be giving you the research that you're going to be doing for the rest of the day. There is a Philippines Expat Forum, and a place where you can go where some of the guys that have already been there or have been living there for a long time have been able to take their experiences and help other folks out. Like this one here from Jesse 53. It's his handle in the Expat Forum. I'm currently living in the Philippines. Guy's kind of low-key bragging, isn't he? I'm currently living in the Philippines where God lives. Can you imagine? Can you imagine going someplace where essentially everybody is as gorgeous as Army and Sarita, right? That's where they come from. There's no supply chain issues there. They're all beautiful. Maraming, maganda in the Philippines. Anyway, so guys, I'm currently living in the Philippines, and I'm trying to figure out if I can get a divorce in the U.S. while I'm in the Philippines. I did not get married in the Philippines, but in the United States, trying to avoid having to travel to the U.S. to get it done. Anybody having any experience with this? Honda guy.
Honda guy?
Honda guy. The easiest option is for you to get divorced in Guam, as they only require like 7 days to establish residency so you can file there. I had a buddy who did this a few years ago. He organized everything with a divorce attorney there, then flew in on day one. He spent the next 6 or 7 days on a vacation, relaxing on the beach, seeing the sights. On day 8, the attorney was able to file for divorce for him, and he was able to leave. The only catch is that you and your future ex will need to agree on everything. If she doesn't agree and won't sign the paperwork, then Guam may not work for you. What they're referring to is an uncontested divorce. If you can get an uncontested divorce, then it's just a question of, you know what, she doesn't even need to be here. We'll pouch the documents to her. She can sign them, pouch them back. We'll take it over to the court. We'll get a lock, whatever, and then sooner than later, believe it or not, you will be divorced. Jess 53 writes back, thanks for the info, LOL. I'm trying to do this as cheaply as I can. I'd heard of this, but I'll look into it again. It seems like it was a little spendy. If I absolutely have to, I'll use it as an excuse to take a vacation and visit my son, quote, in the U.S. To which the super moderator MCA responds, Guam is a very expensive place. Good idea to get this done in the U.S. Hotels back in 1991 were over $100 a day. And it says, and real crap hotels. Hey, man, we were just there was a time that there were people. Can you imagine this version of Guam? Try real hard. Can you imagine this version of Guam where this was a conversation that people were having because there were so many of these divorce attorneys that were popping up on Guam and advertising for quickie divorces.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Well, I mean, no,
one and done.
But there were a lot of people that were saying, no, we should not encourage that. We should not, be publicizing this. It gives Guam a black eye. It's one of those. My goodness, what a morally corrupt place Guam must be. If this was before tree snakes, I think. For people to be anxious about an issue, but people were up in arms about the idea that there were all these attorneys that were doing advertising for quickie divorce. Just come to Guam, and if you've got an uncontested divorce, I want to say they were even advertising, how quickly they could get it done. I mean, like in the space of I want to say somebody's got to dig out old newspapers, but I want to say that they would advertise how quickly they could get it done, like a 48-hour divorce or something like that.
Corbin and Gavris.
I don't know about those guys. I don't know if it was. Don't you get me sued here.
Divorce is in 1 hour.
8:55 in the morning. So there we are. A little bit more of whatever notoriety it's worth in the expat forum. I'm wondering how many guys are right now writing down the words expat forum. Going, okay, I'm going to go check these guys out. I'd always thought about maybe moving. You take your retirement. I don't want to turn this into a conversation about how lousy the economy is here on Guam. But where did we say the peso was the other day? They're talking about it being up around 60 before long. It might be there today. I haven't checked, honestly. But there are a number of people that are going, why don't I take the money that I've socked away for retirement? Can you imagine how much further it will go in the Philippines? Now, I'm not saying everything's cheap in the Philippines, and when I'm in Manila, it's never cheap, but certainly less expensive. Labor costs are much lower there. Number of goods and services that are available. I mean, just medical. I mean, you get to be a person of a certain age, a guy or a girl of a certain age, and all of a sudden, access to really, really good and inexpensive medical care is important. You might not be able to, get your insurance company. Well, wait a second. I'm thinking about it. You might be able to get your insurance company to, as long as you keep paying for the membership. I don't know if they care where you live. What's that? You want to take our car to the clinic there? And you can, oh my God, and you can buy Z-Pack over the counter, Real Joe.
No.
I heard. I read about it on the expat forum. And so,
all those people are cheap, Ray.
I'm just not. Dude, and I know a guy, this years and years and years in the military, right? And I want to say he even sticked around a little bit longer. And he's finally retired. And I remember the last time he was here, I said, dude, where are you retired? He's Philippines. The word retired had not even finished coming out of my mouth. And where are you going to Philippines? Yep. Okay, that is already. And he's young enough now to have. People know who I'm talking about. But he's young enough now to have still the vim and the vigor. And he runs with some other buddies a nightclub.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And in one of these resorty places out there.
It's more bang for your buck.
Amen to that, brother. I'm telling you, you take that, you get off the inflation train. And some people are moving to the States or going to states where there's no income taxes, things like that. Oh, I'm going to move to Texas. I'm going to move to Arizona, whatever. Or some people saying, I'm taking lock, stock, and barrel. And I'm going to go and buy myself one of those condos that you see on Instagram out in Quezon City or someplace like that. And buy yourself one of those. What's your mortgage? $100 a month, right? What comes with this? I don't know. I never leave the place because there's a nightclub downstairs and there's a grocery store downstairs and there's a karaoke place downstairs. You never have to leave the building if you don't want to. And there's a kuya and they've got Grab. You just say you want. I need something from the Shake Shack over in Bonifacio Global City, and you make a telephone call, and they will go and pick it up and bring it to you. You never have to leave the place. Then you go downstairs and give the extra rice to the security kuya, and then you are in like Flint for the rest of your life. All right, coming up. One of my favorite Filipinos, Ernest Choco, is going to be in the studio. We're going to be talking about. Because there's not going to be a debate at the university, so we might as well go ahead with that little shop of horrors. Actually, I don't know for sure if there's not going to be a debate at the university. It's one of those conversations that has made for a very, very interesting morning and a little bit of back and forth between Rory Respicio from the All In guys and Dr. Ron McNinch. Now, you might have just read the front page, and I've only concentrated on the front page. But if you go a little bit deeper into this, there are accusations that Rory is making that Ron McNinch wants to make this, quote, all about him. And that's all there is to it. I'll go over some of that in the next hour if we get some time. 888-825-888-TALK. Stand by now. Fox News Live is coming up next. On the other side of that is going to be me and Ernest and a whole bunch of commercials for politicians that want you to vote for them. Not as Pika's best, but for actual positions like, I don't know, congressman and senator and governor and lieutenant governor. Those are all on the way right here on the Ray Gibson Show on 93.3 The Point.
Accusations of a terror plot. I'm Lisa Lacera, Fox News. Ukraine's nuclear watchdog accusing Russia of preparing a nuclear attack, saying Russian forces are performing what they're calling secret work at Europe's largest nuclear power plant.
Russia could be setting the world up for a false flag operation using a dirty bomb, radioactive material wrapped in conventional explosives that would then give Moscow an excuse to escalate, even using some of their 2,000 tactical nukes. Russian officials have expressed dismay that their warnings are not being heeded by the Pentagon. Last month, UN and NATO troops simulated how they'd respond to a dirty bomb attack on a petroleum refinery in Jordan. Nuclear expert Matthew Krenig says it makes little sense tactically for Ukraine to use a dirty bomb, but the Russians have a different calculus.
Fox's Jennifer Griffin of the Pentagon. The Pentagon says there will be consequences if Russia uses a dirty bomb. White House COVID response coordinator Dr. Ashish Jha reacting to new test results which found math and reading scores taking a dive after the pandemic.
In-person full-time education is the best form of education. And the administration has been committed to it. We did a whole series of things to make that happen, prioritize teachers getting vaccinated, made sure there was funding for schools for testing, for improving indoor air quality.
He says education experts have said we need to have after-school and summer programs to help kids catch up. 2 weeks until the midterms, the latest Fox News power ranking showing some movement.
In the House, the forecast is showing 4 shifts in favor of Republicans, 3 of them in New York, including the newly redrawn 17th district. It has moved from a lean D to toss-up this week. There you have one of the most powerful Democrats in Congress, Sean Patrick Maloney, battling it out with Republican opponent Mike Lawler.
Fox's Alexandria Hoff. America is listening to Fox News.
Hafa-day, I'm Amanda Shelton. It's been my greatest honor to serve as your senator. We've been able to accomplish so much during this time for our Manumku and our Manitoban, and as we turn the corner of the pandemic, I remain inspired by our island's strength and will continue serving in ways that uplift and empower our people. I humbly ask for one of your votes this election. Sidzuas Maasi.
Paid for by the committee to elect Amanda Shelton, number 6 Democrat, Johnny Coulter as treasurer.
Hafa-day, I'm Tom Fisher. Here's the harsh reality. A trip to the grocery store for the basics, eggs, bag of rice, butter, can of Spam, milk, costs almost $30, and that's just 5 items. The cost of living continues to grow, but the money doesn't. We need to roll back the business privilege tax to reduce Guam's cost of living, and I will make that happen.
Vote Tom Fisher for senator. If you want different, vote different.
I'm Tom Fisher, and I approve this message.
Agriculture losses from Hurricane Ian are coming in higher than estimated.
Florida fields, groves, and ranches suffered over $1 billion in damage from Hurricane Ian, up to $1.8 billion in a State Department of Agriculture report. And nearly half the damage was to Florida's already declining citrus industry. More than half the state's 375,000 acres of citrus were hit by Category 3 and 4 force winds. Also hard hit vegetable crops, sugar cane, and horticulture crops. Ranches sustained almost as much damage as the citrus groves. About 250 animals, mostly dairy cows, were killed in the storm, but over 250,000 calves waiting to be shipped to out-of-state feedlots are still in stressful conditions. Therese Crowley, Fox News.
Late-night host James Corden addressed the ongoing beef between himself and Keith McNally, the owner of Balthazar, a restaurant in New York City.
On his Late Late Show, the host said he deeply regrets making rude comments to a server. He said he's silent for over a week because it's a very British thing to do. McNally banned the comedian from his restaurant after detailed reports claimed Corden verbally abused a server. He said he was the most abusive customer servers have encountered in 25 years. Corden eventually called McNally to apologize, but things took a turn when Corden claimed he did nothing wrong to the New York Times. McNally then took to Instagram again and called for Corden to own up to his behavior. Michelle Polino, Fox News.
The 8th largest lottery jackpot will be up for grabs when numbers are drawn tomorrow for an estimated $700 million Powerball grand prize. No one has matched all 6 numbers in one Powerball top prize since August 3rd. The $700 million jackpot is for those who take an annuity option paid out over 29 years. Winners nearly always opt for cash, which for tomorrow's drawing will be an estimated $335.7 billion before taxes. I'm Lisa Lacera. This is Fox News.
Judy Wampat's voting record for Guam shows she will vote for herself. As Speaker of the Guam Legislature, she gave herself a $30,000 pay raise and a $15,000 retro payment. For that, Guam voted her out of office. She claims she's a fighter. If she's elected into Congress, she will fight the United States government, and Guam will lose billions of dollars in opportunities. Vote James Moylan for Congress. Jim's a real fighter for Guam, and not for himself.
I'm James Moylan, and I approve this message.
Hafaday, I'm Frank Bloss Jr. As a senator, I know full well the responsibility of having the weight of your worries on my shoulders. I also accept that I'll have to make decisions that are right but aren't popular. What matters is I do my best for you. This election, I ask for just one of your votes so I can continue to work on what concerns you most. I'm Frank Bloss Jr., #1 Republican, and I thank you for listening. Paid for by Friends for Frank, Dave Morcilla, Treasurer.
Want more internet speed, more mobile data, more TV, and more reliable phone service? Introducing the new GTA Choice Bundles. The more you choose, the more you save. And for a limited time, sign up for a new Choice Bundle with home internet service up to Internet 50 and get a free Roku Express. Or Internet 75 or higher and receive a $100 account credit. Visit GTA.net and get more choices, more savings with GTA's Choice Bundles. Conditions apply. See website for details. GTA, we start with you.
Fear has no place in our government or community. Yet Tony and I hear from many who are being intimidated to support the current administration. Put our campaign sign in your yard or lose your job. Tony and I won't threaten or intimidate. This is not what our island is about. These are not the values with which we were raised. It's time to return Guam to our values, to our traditions of honor and respect. It's time for a new season. I'm Felix Camacho.
I'm Tony Ada. We approve this message.
Hafaday, I'm Bishop Mendiola, and I'm running for senator to promote lower cost of living, increase our food security, and ignite new economic sector development. I will put to work my fresh ideas, my experience as a small business owner to create legislation that removes the red tape on our economic growth. I want to pave the way to a prosperous, wealthy, and self-sustainable island community. I'm Bishop Mendiola, #13 on the Republican ballot, and I approve this message.
Right. Portions of the program also brought to you by the team over at APL American President Lines, a global presence with a local home.
It's the Ray Gibson Show.
Yeah.
Call now, 888-TALK. That's 888-8255.
Played that Felix ad in there, the one that makes it sound like he says beer has no place in this community. Carol, he meant fear, I think is what he was looking at. Fear has no place in this community. I'm just telling you right now, Felix, you almost lost me. You almost lost me
and beer.
Yeah. No, there needs to be more beer in this community. That's what we got to do. I'm going to vote for whoever's with me on this one's more. And actually, it's not where my head's at most of the time. As much as I like mine, I like to think that I'm a in control kind of guy. Plan ahead. You know, if I know I'm going to be partying hard, let's get a hotel room, designated drivers, all of that kind of thing. And just cause. But there's not everybody does that, right? You can run the PSAs, you can do the ads, but it occurs to me every once in a while. And they say, before meth, this was a problem, a lot of alcohol issues. And people would say, why? And my answer was always, you realize that you can get alcohol here on Guam 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I mean, it's somewhere you're going to go someplace and you might walk in and it's well lit, and the guy, you want to get a 12-pack, after 2 o'clock in the morning, the guy said, get out of here. You're not getting a 12-pack out of here. Follow the rules. But if you're enough of a pain in the ass, my guess is a lot of guys would say, fine, just give me the money, get out of here, right? Just to get rid of you. And if you go to someplace and they don't, there's another place, usually within walking distance, where they will. The stop and think about the number of mom and pop stores that we have, and the number of places that have a retail beer and wine and whatever it is behind the counter package. Literally, if you get kicked out of one place, you go down the street and find another place. Would be more than happy to give you that kind of business. More on that, and because I was encouraged, Real Joe, by the magistrate report. Donna D. referred to this earlier. Jefferson Daniel, whose nickname is Defendant, walked into the East Agutnia Shell gas station where he took a can of Spam, a can of ox and palm corned beef, 2 bottles of Merlot, and then walked out. without paying. Total value of the merchandise taken by him was about $39.26. It's the ox and palm, bro.
Yeah.
Pricey, my God.
That's a whole meal right there.
Yeah, it is, right? So the guy, attendant calls the cops. During the course of taking the complaint, the officer was informed the defendant was outside of the gas station. As it turns out, didn't get far. Officer Fabila went outside and observed the defendant knocking on the window of a red pickup truck. The officer identified himself and said, "Hey, I'm here. I'm the policeman." And instructed the defendant to step away from the truck. The defendant yelled at the officer, "No, blank you. What I do? I don't take nothing." Officer Fabila instructed the defendant to calm down. He noted the defendant had red, bloodshot, watery eyes, slurred speech, an odor of intoxicating beverage emitting from his breath or person, and an inability to maintain balance. He tried to leave and was informed by the officer that he was not free to leave and that he was being arrested for public drunkenness. The defendant ignored the officer, tried to walk away. The officer grabbed the defendant's wrist and instructed the defendant to put his hands behind his back. Now, the defendant jerked his hand away from the officer in an attempt to make the officer let go of his wrist. What do they call that in the cop game? Resisting arrest. There we go. Yeah, the officer pulled the defendant's wrist toward the office and guided the defendant to ground while instructing him to stop resisting and put his hands behind his back. The defendant refused. Fabila was able to secure the defendant in handcuffs after a brief struggle with the defendant. So what have we got him on? I got resisting arrest, retail theft, and public drunkenness. And the reason why I'm so happy about this particular magistrate report, you might be going, come on, Ray, what's the happy ending on this? Not a meth case. It's not a meth case. Is it
you always see the positive side.
That's what I'm trying to get to here. You know, we got all the meth and the CSC and all this other stuff. And what do we got here? This guy, Jackson, just a plain old drunk. Just a plain old drunk guy in the middle of the afternoon.
Munchies.
Just want some Merlot. I've never, you know what?
Some Merlot.
The combination.
That's such a heavy wine, Ray.
But I mean, he's the pairing: a can of Spam, corned beef, and a couple of bottles of Merlot. Now, I don't, I know a couple of guys in the culinary field, and that might be a pairing that they've never ever considered before, right? Merlot and
you might have a future, man, in the restaurant business.
Could be. 912 Ray Gibson Show until later on, and he's in the. Thank God you showed up, Ernest DeChoco. I'm so glad that you're here. Make the microphone in front of you. There we go. Perfect. How you doing?
I'm good, thank you. And I love boxes of Merlot.
Do you?
And ox palm.
Well, the thing is, if you do and you get busted, try not to resist arrest because it just ticks off the police.
Yeah, I know.
You notice that?
It tends to make them really angry.
Agitated, the cops
I don't
here.
know why,
12 after 9 o'clock in the morning. I have no idea where the conversation is going to go other than Little Shop of Horrors.
Yes, Little Shop of Horrors.
Okay,
that
so
is what's happening.
You've got a couple of guests behind you, and do they want to talk on the radio or be in the camera or something like? Grab the chair and pull it up on a thing. We got chairs all over the place, and we've even got a couple of cameras around here that I can swing you on, and then you can tell your folks and your friends that you were on the air with the Ray Gibson.
Ray Gibson.
You know, I used to be real humble about that. It was just, hey, no, a guy from the village, interesting job, just the Ray Gibson, whatever. But I don't know. We got this Pika's Best thing that I'm in, so I might as well.
Validation.
Validation. So if you want to, it's the Ray Gibson Show on YouTube, and that's where you find me and all the shenanigans of the morning show. Now, but getting into the rest of this, hold on. So this still has Donna's name on it. And you, while there are some similarities, are not Donna De Jesus. Hold on, let me just click that off. Isn't she one of the most talented people that you know?
She's amazing, Donna, and I don't mind being called her. You guys can call me that anytime, Donna Ochoco.
Donna, I think it works. I've seen you and her in a dress. But there's no instrument that she can't play. I mean, she's singing, and she's really good technology. It's just a great organized brain.
She's all around. Donna can do almost anything in the music field, and she also does stuff on radio.
She can do anything at the radio station.
Yeah, exactly.
I said, you're one of these days you're going to be my replacement. Good luck. 9:14. But she said, can we get Ernest in here to talk about a play? I said, yeah, which one? And she said, Little Shop of Horrors. And I thought, why is that familiar? But you maybe in a previous interview said that was one of the plays that you guys were shooting for.
Yes, correct. It's been on our list for a very long time. And as you know, GATE, Gifted and Talented Education, We changed our name a little bit, so it's GATE, VPA, Visual Performing Arts.
Right.
But it's just a funding thing. I won't get into the details.
Sure.
But it's been on our radar ever since the GATE program was first conceptualized back in 1993. And the reason why is because it's one of the very, very best Broadway shows out there. I mean, it's amazing. You've heard the music. You know, the person who wrote The Little Mermaid?
Rick Moranis.
Well, no, he didn't
was
write
in the
that.
movie. No, but I mean, but some people might go, okay, why is that familiar? Rick Moranis was what played
in the movie, yes, and
the,
Steve and Steve Martin. And Steve Martin was also in the movie. He was the dentist. So there were a lot of really wonderful stars.
You'll
in
have
Broadway.
to remind me of the plot here. So anyway, so you get the rights to it, and then bang, COVID.
Yes, correct. We were a week and a half from opening. That's how close we were. Yeah, that's how close we were. And then COVID hit, and then 3 years later, now we're ready to go back on.
There are so many people that just prior to COVID hitting, we're beginning the blossoming relationships and things like that, and all of a sudden COVID hit, and everybody's broke up now. I'm sorry, it didn't work out. You couldn't come to Guam. I couldn't go to the Philippines. This tale is old as time, right?
Right.
So the calamity comes, the pandemic, whatever it actually turned out to be. So among the original players that you were talking about casting in 2020, how many of them still around, Brown?
Quite a few of them are still here.
Yeah.
But I told them, I said, I do not know what happened to your voice in the last 3 years, so you still need to come back.
We're going to start the audition.
Yes.
Well, they've had 2.5 years to get off book. They should have been rehearsing over all of this time.
True. And if they're not off book first day, you are in so much trouble.
So, yeah, I mean, that closely, the booklet's all written, everybody in costumes. You got the
choreography's done, everyone's learned. Yeah, the orchestra is ready. Sets were being built and everything like that. The great giant monster plant was being built.
Wow.
Yeah, everything was very good to go. Week and a half.
Yeah. And then the overall sadness of things. But we're back now. Where are you now? Because as you said, some of the people are still around. You've still got some of the original merch or whatever. You've got some of the DNA from the last one. Are you able to ramp it up quicker? You got to have auditions.
Yes.
Are you
no.
starting from scratch?
Yes and no. So we're using a lot of the same creative production team. So like Cheeto Santos, and Cheeto Santos is amazing. He's coming back for Little Shop of Horrors, and he's building our set. So,
okay, oh my God, the set.
I know. And it's going to be just as big as Mamma Mia.
Mamma Mia was an incredible set.
Huge.
People could live there. You didn't need to go home. I mean, if you didn't want to after the performance, because there was enough actual living space that was created for that. And I recall that being just a part of the spectacle. I remember walking into, and I would have watched it anyway because my nephew was in it, right? But I remember going into the Phoenix Center at Father Duenas. And just being in awe of what it was that you guys put together. I mean, it was a major set. That's not the biggest. That's not the biggest room on the island. And for you to be able to take advantage of the stage real estate and build up what you did, I thought that was outstanding. So something along the same lines.
Along the same lines, and we have about 100 feet of stage in the front, and also another 52 feet of stage in the back.
Right.
So you're right.
Wow.
It isn't the largest seating venue, obviously, but dang, we make do with it's 2,000 seats, and we sell out every
single time.
Yep.
Well, that's part of that. I mean, you're a good salesman, and the shows are always good. And as much as was made about the Saigon, Miss Saigon, there were a couple of people that came up to me and said, "Oh man, the performance was exactly right, and everything looked good. Just didn't sound good." I got people that were remarking about the sound quality, and because you've done musicals, how important that is. Phoenix House, decent acoustics in there, but you never take it for granted. So
never. And we have a great team that works with us. That's Jams Media, right? So Jeff Sanchez, he's got some very, very best equipment.
His wife has good ears too.
And she's got great ears.
She's got good ears.
She's amazing.
Yeah.
She tells me exactly if there's something going on, right? And Kuya Jeff is also fantastic. And but without him, we wouldn't sound as great as we were.
Okay, so some of the usual suspects going to be coming back.
Yes, sir.
Do you have anybody that's any names that you can mention that are already in some key roles
Well,
here?
we just started auditions last night, and we're continuing auditions all the way throughout this week and on Saturday. So we'll see who comes back.
So nobody is guaranteed their own spot.
No one is guaranteed a spot.
Okay. I think I
Not
got
even
you.
me.
I was gonna say,
I have to audition myself.
Well, you know that there's people that I love that I'd love to be able to see in that play, but they're going to have to earn their spot back on the stage. Who are you looking for? I mean, we start talking about, and again, part of this has to do with the fact that the closest thing I've ever come to Little Shop of Horrors, I might have been watching a few of the videos when they were floating around when the movie was out. But tell me about the cast that you want.
Well, we're looking for
age groups, genders, whatever.
Oh, everybody for Little Shop of Horrors. So we have two things that I'm auditioning for. The first one is actually if I could move into something else real quick. Musical Theater Competitions of America. It's one of the biggest competitions in musical theater in the nation, and it's our first time to create a team that's going to go over there and represent Guam. So it's
how do you compete in something like that? Do you just pick your favorite number and practice a lot, and then you go and perform it on stage?
Yes, and there's categories that you can. Yes, exactly that.
Huh.
And there's categories that they have, and so you just have to follow the rules and things like that. And we're competing against everyone in the nation, some of the best in the nation.
But is it all? Are they all coming from the same Broadway numbers? I mean, is this going to be?
No, not exactly.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
so your own whatever musical theater you've created, maybe even in your own market.
Yes, and it might even be Little Shop of Horrors that we're going to bring over.
Right.
So.
Well, because I can imagine, because something like that obviously going to be populated by people singing from Miss Saigon and Mamma Mia and Phantom of the Opera. But I mean, after a while, you go, okay, I know all of those songs, and thank you for your performance. It sounded just like every other performance I've ever heard of it. So I mean, how are we going to try to make something that's a little bit more memorable?
For MTCA? There's a lot of ways to do that, but I think, I'm going to...
Because I can sing Christine from...
I'm sure you could.
Yes.
I'm sure you could. No, the thing with this is it's secondary education, so I have middle school and high school that are auditioning for this. And, a lot of the times, this is so interesting about Guam. We have so much talent here that's undiscovered, and sometimes these kids, they come from places that I would never have thought of approaching a role from, or singing in a certain way that I never thought could be possible, and so I'm going to trust the process and trust that these kids, the talent on Guam, is
let it
going to
happen.
show up, and let it happen.
I'm looking for. Particular movie that I'd love.
One?
Well, I can't remember. Moulin Rouge.
Ooh, Moulin Rouge.
Right?
I love that show.
So who on Guam could pull off Come What May from Moulin Rouge?
Oh, God, we've got a lot.
I'm getting specific, right?
Yeah,
yeah.
Well, we've got a lot who could do that. Come What May, yeah. Gosh. Actually, all of Moulin Rouge, all of the songs from Moulin Rouge. So if we get a quartet of women, we could do Voulez-vous coucher avec moi?
Ce soir.
Yeah, we could totally do that.
So is it doable? It just you get the kids, come up with the imagination. They maybe need to do a little bit by way of costume. All right, so we'll move on from there. Go back to Little Shop of Horrors. So who are you looking for?
It's the same audition dates for MTCA. I'll be auditioning and watching out for people in Little Shop of Horrors auditions to win the spots. I only have 6 spots for MTCA, for Musical Theater Competitions of America.
Okay.
And so I'll be looking for them there. But for Little Shop of Horrors, I'm looking for the title roles. Every single role that's there. Seymour Krelborn, he is the anti-hero. He's the young, nerdy guy who has gone through a lot of hardships in his life. And he is ready to become the very best version of himself. And Audrey, who's also been abused and she's in all the wrong relationships, and I think there's a lot of people who can relate to that Guam. So if that's something that has happened to you or you've seen happen to you, that's the kind of person that I'm looking for Audrey. And she also, and a lot of these characters are learning to become at least the heroines are learning to become the very best versions of themselves. And of course here we've got the villains, we've got the dentist, right? And Chris Evans is actually playing the dentist role in the remake of Little Shop of Horrors.
Oh, I didn't know. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
He's a good actor. I like.
Yeah, he's good.
Didn't think he's a singer, but okay.
I know. He doesn't know that he's my boyfriend, but whatever. He will once I talk to him and tell him.
and then there'll be marriages and there'll be rainbows.
Children and all that stuff. And I don't have to work because he's a millionaire.
Yes, exactly like that. Well, 9:24. All right, so when do you want to actually start launching? You got the auditions that are going to be being done. When is that now?
That's tonight all the way up till Friday.
Tonight? Okay.
Yeah, tonight all the way to Friday, 6 to 9 p.m.
Where
over at GDOE's central office. And you need to bring 2 Broadway songs that are prepared and ready. We also have one on Saturday, the 29th, which is from 12 to 3.
Okay.
12 to 3 over at GDOE Central as well.
Okay. Now, a couple of other people in the studio, we haven't introduced them yet.
Yes,
so
yes.
you go ahead and tell me why, because I'm pretty sure they're not your designated driver. So who have you brought
They
with?
could be, though. So I've got 2 really, really proficient theatrical people here. We've got Steven Ramirez and his wife also, Miss
Welcome.
Miranda Ramirez. They're both theatrical.
Yeah, they're husband and wife?
Yeah.
You don't look old enough. I thought you guys were like a couple of the middle school actors that you brought in.
Thank you. You are too kind.
Thank you for having us. Thank you for having us.
Pleasure's mine. So now, what is it that what title did he just give you besides husband and wife? What do you guys do?
Steven is helping out with the production in different ways. He's kind of like the go-to guy for everything.
Okay.
And then Miranda is our main stage manager for the show.
Okay. I'm the guy that
She
you'd be
didn't know.
yelling at. If I was to really, this is the wrong song. That's not the right outfit. What are you doing? That we're not going to see that for another 2, pieces of the stage.
I'm the guinea pig.
Is that the way? Now how did you guys get into showbiz? How'd you get into live performances?
My wife's is more interesting than mine, but I've been an actor since I was in college, and you've been training for this since forever.
Yeah, I have a theater degree from the Philippines. So I graduated speech and theater arts from Silliman University. It's an American university in the Philippines.
I never heard of it before.
It's a small school big school in a small island.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And so that's where people go if they want to get into the theatrics in the Philippines?
In the Philippines, there are a lot now, but before, Silliman was like the first one.
Okay.
And then it ventured into the University of the Philippines has one now, and La Salle and Ateneo and a lot of other new schools.
And are there a lot of performance opportunities in the Philippines? Because I've seen performances in the Philippines in places that I can't mention on the radio, but not necessarily. I think the kind of performances that you guys might be doing out there. Is there a play set of venues that you can go to?
In Manila, yes. If you want to perform professionally in the Philippines, you're going to have to move to Manila because the smaller islands around the Philippines don't have as big an opportunity.
Of course.
And because especially international people fly into Manila directly, that's where your main audience is as well.
Okay, I see. And so have there been recently any plays, or have they gone kind of dormant with COVID-19 as well?
I heard that plays are starting up again. I've seen some announcements. I know that Joseph the Dreamer is back on stage, and we actually have a local guy, Paul Valdez, who's in
my
it.
nephew.
Okay.
He's in it, so he's one of the brothers. And they just had a rerun a couple months ago, and I know they're having another one in November. So
The reruns, I will use from time to time the phrase "balik bayan" when we start talking about that, and I kind of want to get into this here, and because we've done Mamma Mia a couple of times,
we have.
and it sells out every single time, and everybody's happy. It doesn't matter who's doing it. So I'm wondering, will there be a time? Is it something that we can I don't know, plan on for the future, where we take some of the plays that we like very, very much and put them back on the stage? And they say, well, we did that before. Yeah, but that was before COVID. And now that there's COVID, I want to say that kind of resets everything. Are you getting the same vibe that I'm getting here?
yeah, kind of. But I think, if you give it enough time, like say it's been maybe 10, 15 years, yeah, for sure, put it back on stage.
Oh, yeah, by all means. And off the top of my head, and the reason why this is in my head, kind of just timing-wise, last Saturday, they had that beer and whiskey fest down at the Deuce. And I don't know if you guys had a chance to go down there, but
I heard about it.
The theme was Greece. And the 50s.
That's fun.
And
I wish I knew.
There were people, they produced a couple of dance numbers, and there were guys up there singing, and they were doing the whole Grease Lightning bit.
At Deuce It.
At Deuce It. Yeah, but it was just, a
fun thing.
fun thing that they were doing. They were playing clips from the movies, and it got me remembering what a great movie it was. And before it was a movie, though, it was a play. And so I'm thinking, let's bring a Broadway Grease to Guam.
Well, that's on my list.
Grease is a fun show.
Yeah.
Is it under?
It's been about 15 years since
there's been a Grease.
But that's why Little Shop of Horrors is being shown again now, because it's been exactly 15 years. And this is actually the 30th anniversary of Gate Theater.
So so it'd be, speaking of Balikbayan, it would be great to see if we can find some of the original performers from some of those original plays,
And I'm
bring
going to
them
be
back
doing
for
that.
cameos.
Yes, and several of them are willing to come back in and from the very, very first play, like Mike Hartendorp and those guys who
Oh
were
my
part
God.
of, part of the very, very first Gate production of Little Shop of Horrors. And then our second group, Justin. Oh man, what's his last name? I'm so sorry, Justin. But Justin was Seymour, I believe. So those guys are willing to come back and
Either
make some-
do remix their roles or just kind of just a cameo, just pop up on the stage and see if anybody makes
and I don't
the
know if
connection.
they remember because I asked them about 3 years ago to do that. so I will just jog their memory.
Yeah. Well, we say you've already committed them on the radio, and I think that might be good. So when do you want to get? When will I be able to buy a ticket to Little Shop of Horrors? What's your
Very,
timing?
very soon. As soon as I cast the show, then we want to kind of just do it methodically. And in about 2 weeks, we're going to go ahead and give out all the information about the show. And Kim Torres is going to be handling all of the student shows, the matinees. And that's kind of like when we're going to have it. But check us out on our social media.
Sure.
It's called Gate_VPA. It's on Instagram. There's 2. Go for the white-colored Little Shop of Horrors.
Yes.
Because I'm still trying to remove the other one that I did a long time ago. Yeah. It was a good one, but we're going to try to remove that. And then we also have it on Facebook. So look for Gate_VPA. And you'll see all of the information there. Everything that you need, all the ticket outlets are going to be there, all of our sponsors. Everyone's going to be on that.
So we've got a couple of production pros here from the Philippines. Any chance that there might be any actor or actresses maybe that might be convinced to fly out from Manila to Guam to perform?
Oh no, I'm really
It's all local show.
Pulling from our great talent that's here on Guam.
See, the reason why, because I wanted to see if you could get Catherine Bernardo to come out just for an appearance.
She's a wonderful actress, though.
Thank you very much.
She's a wonderful actress.
I watched Barcelona again the other day. I thought I was going to cry. People don't. I say things like this, and people don't, give me any credit for it. I love watching Filipino rom-coms.
She got me watching this.
Right?
I'm not a fan, but.
Oh my God!
One or two, I'm like, okay, these are good.
Oh, and then the arc of the actors and actresses, because there's a rolling stock, if you will, of actors and actresses in these rom-coms, and they will appear in different roles in different parts of the movies. And go, oh, that's the guy from this movie. That's the guy from that movie. That's the mom. That's the mom, and now and she's the girlfriend of so and so. And then they've got an incredible, a repertoire of other movies from the back. I tell you what, some of the Filipino romance dramas out there. Absolute tearjerkers. So,
yes, absolutely.
A lot of them are heavier than the K-dramas.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. But if you can handle the subtitles, and in a lot of them, they do a lot of Taglish in it, so you can play along if you've been. If you've been.
If I've been. I've been actually in one rom-com, a K-pop rom-com.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was an extra.
I'll be darned.
Yeah.
Okay, just completely as an aside, I'm going to ask, where Vikings is, right?
Of course.
Okay.
My friend owns that.
I'm just checking to see if he knew where Vikings was. The reason why I bring it up is there is a K-pop kind of club in the opposite corner.
Oh, yeah, there
above
is.
Porky's. You go all the way up to... Have you been there?
Oh, yeah, I have.
But we're talking about in Manila?
Here.
Tumon, across from the
I
Hyatt.
saw that. Like K88 or something like that?
I don't know the name of it. It's like there's karaoke there, and there's food, so it's a club, but not really a club. It's a restaurant, but not really a restaurant.
Bar-ish restaurant.
Right.
Yeah,
So go. She's like, we're going. We're definitely going to try this thing out. But yeah, if you can get Catherine Bernardo out here, I think that'd be great.
Yeah, maybe just for fun laughs, but not maybe not for the show.
I'd throw in the boyfriend, Daniel.
Ooh,
Daniel, yeah.
Okay,
Are they still together?
I believe so.
Okay. Never liked him. But no, there's a scene in what's the movie? Can't Help Falling in Love with You, where he's telling her vows in the cave. I want to say this Boracay, where they're I think that's where they're doing, where they got this cave where people have done marriages and things like that, and he's doing the vows in it. But he does it in Tagalog. And I was so smitten by this scene that I translated his vows, and I keep it with me on my phone. Every once in a while, I get into that weird kind of I'm having my period moment, and I'll just kind of look at that and say, yeah, that's perfect. Yes, and a great scene from a couple of great movies, and they're all over Netflix. So if you haven't had a chance to see it, then by all means, I really love every once in a while, low-key bragging about my relationship with the Filipino rom-com industry. 9:34, I'll low-key brag about my relationship with the local acting and singing and Broadway community. So let us know. You don't have to call in any favors to come in and talk on the radio, right?
No need to do that. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
And they can call me if they have any information. If they want information, 487-3767. Call me anytime, night or day. I'm usually up doing work anyway.
He calls it work.
487-3767 for any information on musical theater competitions of America and Little Shop of Horrors.
All right, and the name of the movie I was talking about was Barcelona, and you will get Missy at it, right?
Oh yeah,
there's
Barcelona.
No, what's the name of the dead girl in Barcelona? The one that
I think you guys would know better.
He keeps seeing her in that's why he was smitten with Catherine. I'll have to look it up. There's a great scene.
Yeah,
in fact,
but she looks exactly Catherine plays both roles.
Oh, yes. Okay, so try to you get a chance, go ahead and watch those things. But don't do it until after I'm done with this radio show. Real Show is motioning for me to take a break, so I'm going to do that. We're going to grab some selfies and then come back. And we might talk about something that kind of kept me awake the other night, and I didn't realize that they were still a problem. Have you heard the Coqui Frogs are back? Be right back.
Half a day. I'm Bisho Mendiola, and I'm running for senator to promote lower cost of living, increase our food security, and ignite new economic sector development. I will put to work my fresh ideas, my experience as a small business owner to create legislation that removes the red tape on our economic growth. I want to pave the way to a prosperous, wealthy, and self-sustainable island community. I'm Bisho Mendiola, number 13 on the Republican ballot, and I approve this message.
Stop by Olive Garden for their never-ending pasta bowls. Available for lunch and dinner. Choose a pasta, choose a sauce for $19.99. Add a never-ending topping for $7.99. You can mix and match your refills at no extra charge. Refill again and again. Your entree comes with never-ending soup or salad and never-ending breadsticks. Promotion is from October to November 20th. Olive Garden open every day from 11 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. for lunch and 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. for dinner. Please call 671-989-0008. Portions are not available for takeout.
Guam Regional Medical City is the center of excellence for general and minimally invasive surgeries like colonoscopy, dialysis and vascular access, gallbladder, skin and soft tissue, gastrointestinal tract, hernia repair, spleen, select liver and pancreas diseases, upper endoscopy, and more. Schedule your appointment with GRMC today by calling 671-633-GRMC. That's 671-633-4762. For more information, visit us at grmc.gu.
Half a day. I'm Jesse Anderson Lujan. Throughout this campaign, I've been presenting my plans to reduce inflation, rebuild our tourism industry, and fight the crystal meth and crime problems plaguing our island. Our government can do more to lift the burdens facing our families. If elected, I will be ready on day one to get to work to help make Guam safe again and urgently rebuild our economy. I humbly ask you, please vote Jesse Anderson Lujan, number 7, Republican. I'm Jesse Anderson Lujan, and I approve this message.
Vince Borja epitomizes determination. His family was so poor that he received his first pillow when he joined the Army. Vince went from extreme poverty to obtaining a master's degree, becoming a non-commissioned officer in the Army, working for a Fortune 500 company, and becoming an entrepreneur. Vince even gave up his job as a professor so he could run and serve his people. You cannot teach grit and determination. With Vince Borja, you don't have to. It's in his DNA. So is leadership. Vote Vince Borja for senator. Determination has a name.
My name is Vince Borja, and I approve this message.
Hey, sup? How we doing? Wednesday. Program note. There's a better than probably 99.9% chance that by this time tomorrow we'll be in Brian Kilmeade or something like that. Ray Gibson Show. usually a 6 until 10 thing, but because I am also now and will be for, God, it seems forever, a member of the jury pool J.
It's your duty.
Yes. Well, not only is it my duty, if I don't go, they'll send the marshals.
That'll be great.
Yeah. How about we do that on the radio? Have me arrested for not showing up. And even if I found out about this from somebody else that needed to take medical or something like that, it used to be you just need to come in like with a note from the doctor or something like that. And as it turns out, apparently you need like 4 or 5 pieces of papers, like a note from the doctor and a note from the insurance company or something like that, so that you can adequately explain to the nth degree what it was that you had prevented you from showing up and doing your duty with their friends over at the Jury Pool J. Your friends? Of course. Well, I don't know. I feel like I don't know. I feel like have I been talking a lot today? I feel like I gave a long speech. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay. Anyway, so a couple of things that I wanted to share with you here in the last just few minutes of the program. Did we have the baby yet? Have we heard from Colin and Jericho?
Oh, no, I don't know.
I got, well, the last thing I got from Colin was the picture of the toilet at the labor and delivery ward at Guam Memorial Hospital.
So he's waiting for the stork to show up.
Yes, yes. And the deal apparently is the toilet was functioning. The little was working. Excellent. Man. And I'm so glad that you had an opportunity to try that out. Sam Mabini Young says, let's do the time warp again. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. Rocky Horror Picture Show. And I know that some people have tried to, launch it the same way that they... Are you familiar with the subject?
That guy Curry's in it, right?
Tim Curry.
Tim Curry, yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
What is it? The transsexual from Transylvania.
Oh, yeah.
Is the role that made him...
So ahead of his time.
So, the household name, I think, in the trans community. But anyway, so that's the deal with that movie. Susan Sarandon in it. What's his name? The guy. Anyway, so it's super... Meatloaf was in the movie. Meatloaf was in the movie. Yeah. So it's a great comedy rompy send up, right? And there's a lot of music in it. And when people watch it, they'll do like these midnight shows for the Rocky Horror Picture Show, and people will go in costumes from the show and pick out their favorite characters and do all that stuff. And when they're singing and dancing up on the screen, they do singing and dancing in the streets. And you show up with props. There's like toast. You're supposed to bring toast for something in there, rice for when they get married. There's a whole bunch of there's this whole kind of, I don't know. It's the total breakdown of the fourth wall as people become the movie. And I'm sure that there are people that have been doing this for the last 50 years since the thing came out. They'd actually had a like a reunion tour. They reissued the movie and let it play in theaters across the country. I want to say they did this about 15, 20 years ago. And I don't remember if it played here. I don't know if the movie ever showed up on Guam. But I know that there were a lot of people that did the time warp again in markets where they did show it. Mike Grace Bloss online. Rocky Horror. Nate Hortz says Rocky Horror is an awesome show. Gag Me with a Spoon. Who else is online? Jerome McDonald. Great idea. Have plays on Guam for locals and tourists. How about Yam Conception, says Harvey. You know what he might be referring to?
No, man.
I don't know. It's Totally Tubular, and Dave Dinsman's online. Chris Abalencia, Benidoso Tao, Joe and Goko Buenas and Havade, Rico B still hanging out, Joey Toves, Sama Joy, and Benidoso saying, no baby yet, waiting on induce to take effect. Okay. Oh, is inducing the labor.
Oh, yeah. Walk around, man.
There you go.
Yeah, go for a walk down the hall.
Right?
Yeah.
No, not down the hall.
Drop,
go
man.
walk from there to Talo Verde and come back. Yes. That's what they used to send these girls on. Then we'll induce the labor.
Break.
I got you. Well, we're all standing by for the congratulations. Can hardly wait to meet my next nephew, godkid, whatever it ends up being. But anyway,
Nino.
So I'm staying at a place in Tumon recently. And I hear this noise. What the heck heck is that? It's some kind of animal creature out there. What is that making all that noise? And I thought, my God, did I forget to close the window? Did I forget to close the sliding door all the way? And I got up and checked, and the sliding door was closed. And I thought, why can I still hear this noise coming from outside? Now, I'm not a member of the animal loving community around here. I like dogs, like cats, but I was thinking, I wonder if that's a coqui frog. And I thought, well, it's going to make noise all night because it might be the only one here in the courtyard. So if it's out there barking because it's looking for a mate, I don't know that it will ever get a response from the girl coqui frog.
Oh, you should respond.
I was pretty good at making that noise.
90 decibels, dude.
Yes. They can get very loud.
That's crazy.
And so what I ended up doing was I took the mattress in the bed and laid it up against the sliding glass door, and that was able to reduce it just enough so that I was finally able to fall back to sleep on this thing. But I'm wondering if we are having a coqui problem again. I'm remembering, it's been so long since I've had this conversation, but I recall back in the day that there was a resort destination somewhere in the Hawaiian Islands, and they had these coqui frogs, and they'd make this noise, and it sounded so cute and kind of lull you to sleep at night, just kind of one of just magical. And they began reproducing as amphibians can do. And then pretty soon, nobody was sleeping at night because of the din of these coqui frogs going off all day and all night. And I want to say that they had to take some drastic issues. It's been a long time, like I said, since the conversation came up, but it might be worth some fun Googling and seeing if they were ever able to take care of that problem, or did they just everybody move away and nuke it from space and start all over again, right? and so it's one of those things that might have been indigenous to that place. But you know how we are. Nobody's happy unless we're moving invasive species of one kind or another to Guam. And for a while, there was a concern about the coqui frogs moving in here. There was a place you might even still be able to see the remnants of a sign that they put up at the intersection of 10 and 15 in Mangilau, where it gave you a telephone number. I want to say this will go back to the Guam Cell days, right? Well, Guam Cell actually set up a hotline number. If you heard the coqui frogs, you were supposed to call this number, and I don't know, Tom Poole or Brent Tibbetts had come out and spray them down with something and kill them. The question that I've got here, and maybe one of these days, we've already bugged Brent once today, right?
Yeah,
once
but
this week.
we got our snakes, man. Maybe our snakes are helping.
Maybe that could be. That could be. Will the brown tree snakes eat the coqui frogs? Anyway, so Sam Beanie literally got her hands on one of them and put it in a jar and stuck the jar in a freezer. Let me see if I think I've got the pictures. I want to say that she sent me the picture. Yeah, I got it. There it is. That's the coqui frog at the bottom, and it's kind of a macro shot that you're looking at.
So small,
if you can see it on the screen, that's like the bottom of a plastic water bottle. That's how big they get.
Wow.
And all that noise comes out of that body.
A little lemon.
I'm thinking a little bit of lemon or vinegar. A bunch of them in vinegar with olives. I don't even know if you need to cook them. You just pop them in your mouth raw like that. But is it possible that becomes like, French fries to brown tree snakes? Don't know, but I'll see if I can find something out in the next couple of days. 9:47 on the Ray Gibson Show. 888-825-5888-TALK is the telephone number. So you got that. I mean, in terms of topics. Otherwise, let me just take a quick look at the other items in the table of contents to see what I wasn't able to get. Oh, would we find Peter?
No, I tried to get a hold of him. He might be in court.
Like working?
Like, yeah. Like saving someone's life.
Yeah.
Protecting their freedom.
I don't know. A lot of his clients are thugs. I don't know.
That's right.
Well, so the reason why, I'm just thinking about it now, late in the program, the PDN has kind of an insert for election 2022.
Oh, yeah, it's fat, huh?
Get to know the candidates.
Like 4, 5, 6 pages.
Oh, it's one.
Did they put his name in it? Is his name there?
No, that's why I want to get a hold of him. So you've got Lou and Josh, obviously, and there's a Q&A that they've got with Lou and Josh. How big is Guam's crime problem? And like I said, if you missed it, the first thing they do is blame Eddie and Felix. Oh, it's bad now, but it wasn't as bad. Not as bad as it was when Felix and Eddie were governor. Besides the disruption of pandemic funds, what's the government's role in addressing the high cost of living on Guam? And I love this little piece of pillow talk that we get from the Democrats. We are reducing reliance on imports by expanding agriculture and waste recovery, building infrastructure to improve the quality of life. Renewable energy will replace dependence on expensive fossil fuels. Water and wastewater projects and repaired roads are ongoing. And that's how they're...
Sounds like one of our book reports.
It does,
school.
right? Here's
Just
words.
made some stuff up.
I got words. Which words do you want to use? Circular economy. Throw that one in there.
Nice.
Nobody knows what the hell it means, but that's our what's the word I'm looking for? Our principled stance. We froze port tariffs, expanded access to subsidized child care, are improving public transportation. What? When?
I like that.
What is it? You put public transportation, you put the guy that was in charge of the swimming pools in charge of public transportation. I'm serious. What improvements?
Come on,
are you
Matt
talking?
Richards, my boy.
There was one guy, Ben Servino, who understood what the hell he was doing over at Mass Transit, and you figured out ways to get him out. What's the matter? Did he have the wrong sticker on his car? All right. We're bringing Medicaid and safety net programs to families in need. No, Mike Nicholas did that. Living wages and attracting higher-paying jobs are key goals moving forward. There's another one. I like to use that phrase every once in a while. A living wage. Then it just it warms your heart when you hear something like that. I'd like to propose a living wage for people. Do you know what here where the 90% of the jobs are service-related jobs or construction jobs? You want that? Is that going to be the platform for a living wage? We got to get more kids into the schools. All right. Anyway, so those are their responses on a couple of things. Judy Wanpat and Jim Moylan, they did go through the congressional side of it. I didn't read Jimmy's side because he and I already agree on anything. So I looked at Judy Wanpat. What committee would you like to serve on and why? She wanted the House Armed Services and Natural Resources Committee have the most direct impact on Guam. In addition to national security, we need to find balance between food and gas prices inside and outside the fence. Huh? What? Wait. So does that feel like pillow talk too? I don't see why people that have military privileges or access to the auto port should be paying $3.95 a gallon while all of the rest of us have to pay $4.95 a gallon. Why the disparity? Why is it that you go to Payless and this is what you're paying for a can of Spam, and you go to base and go shop at the exchange commissary and this is what they're charging for a can of Spam? How dare they? How dare they? So I don't know how she's going to do it, but is that one of those things where I'll just say something and talk about the disparities between the on-base and off-base community, trying to make it sound like the people who live on base are the elites. Yeah, okay, fine. And then they've got one where they talk about the where's the page there? Doug and Levin Camacho. And they're asking these guys, the Attorney General's office, a bunch of questions. What areas do you think the AG's office needs to improve? What will you do to recruit and retrain? What is your philosophy on handling drug crimes? Maybe the easiest questions ever asked of these two guys, because there are disparities in the way that they think about handling drug criminals, et cetera, et cetera. They're not animals. Oh, he actually uses it. My opponent believes drug addicts are animals who must be locked up. I told you, I didn't even read the thing. I know it's there. But here's the thing that upset me, is to the degree that I was going to get upset about something today. I'm wearing corduroy pants. It's going to take a whole lot to make me mad. Doug Moylan and Levin Camacho are listed as the candidates. And you can fight me all you want on it. He believes that he's a viable candidate as a write-in. And I think that Pete Santos should have been allowed to respond to that. So I'm going to hold on to this, right? And then tomorrow, or Friday, whichever comes first. Sorry, that sounded dumb. Tomorrow or Friday, whichever show has more time in it, we will find Pete Santos and ask him the questions that the PDN denied him. All right, can we put that in the thing for tomorrow?
Yes, we can,
All
sir.
right, write that down while these commercials play.
Just like you, Felix and I are outraged at the growing crime rate and lack of justice on Guam. We are outraged at the number of criminals arrested, released, and back on the streets committing more crimes. Along with crime prevention and reduction initiatives, Felix and I will work with lawmakers, law enforcement, and the courts to reduce repeat offenders. Prevention, rehabilitation where possible, and harsh punishments for criminals. It's time for a new season.
I'm Felix Camacho.
I'm Tony Ada. We approve this message.
There are billions of dollars worth of opportunities knocking on Guam's doors right now. New jobs, higher wages, improved quality of life for all Guamanians. If Jin Moylan is not elected to this Congress, these opportunities will be lost. Gone. Why? Ask Jim's opponent what her stance is on the military buildup. You probably will not like her answer. Let Jim lead us into a better future. This November, vote James Moylan to U.S. Congress.
I'm James Moylan, and I approve this message.
Stop by Olive Garden for their never-ending pasta bowls. Available for lunch and dinner. Choose a pasta, choose a sauce for $19.99. Add a never-ending topping for $7.99. You can mix and match your refills at no extra charge. Refill again and again. Your entree comes with never-ending soup or salad and never-ending breadsticks. Promotion is from October to November 20th. Olive Garden open every day from 11 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. for lunch and 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. for dinner. Please call 671-989-0008. Portions are not available for takeout.
A cat has 9 lives. Baseball gives us 9 innings and 9 players on the field. Greek mythology introduced us to 9 muses. A stitch in time saves 9. Everyone wants to dress to the nines or have the whole 9 yards. And happiness is found on cloud 9. This election, please vote number 9, Attorney Thomas Fisher for Senator on the Republican ballot.
I'm Thomas Fisher, and I approve this message.
Drake Diaz, Treasurer.
A great humanitarian once said that the difference between a career politician and a leader is the politician cares about the number of years served, and the leader just cares about serving. This defines Senator Chris Duenas. He is a seasoned statesman whose focus has always been on being a champion for the masses and a fighter for the truth. Re-elect Senator Chris Duenas, speaking up for you.
I am Chris Duenas, and I approve this message.
Edward Alvarez, Treasurer.
No, I am Chris Duenas. I'm Chris Duenas? I am. No, I don't try to figure it out. Donna said he sounded like he wasn't sure. I am Chris Duenas. 9:56. Not a whole lot of time left in the process here. I've got up on the screen images of Carrie Lake. And some people absolutely love her. You know how you know you're a MAGA person? If you love Carrie Lake.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. They say she's like the female, classy, nice tweet version of Trump.
God, she's tough, man.
Gonna be where's she gonna be the governor of where? Arizona? Yeah. Gonna be the next
like
governor
the
of Arizona.
anti-Karen.
Right. Well, I don't know. I got to be careful. What was the name of the woman from Alaska? Do you remember her? A couple of years ago, and she'd run as a lieutenant.
I can't believe I can't.
Sarah Palin.
Shawshank.
Oh, my God, Sarah Palin.
Sarah Palin.
Dude, I crushed on her hard. I was crushing on her hard. And every time I'd mention that to other women that I know, they were like, ew, I said, what? And they said, but she just, I'm like, no way, man. This chick, like wild girl, cheerleader type from back in the day. And she would have been exactly the kind of girl, if we were in high school together, that I'd crawl on glass, if I was one of those
What
kids.
would the girls from Guam call her?
With the lanya. All right, so we were talking earlier about the music behind the Felix and Tony spots, and it sounds like a song that they play on the piano or the little recording at funeral services. When they call up the family because we're going to close the casket one last time, and it sounds like it's that song or the one. It's got lyrics, and every once in a while they'll play it at the gravesite. And so I couldn't figure out what the song is. I just need to, I need to call Tony's wife. I need to call Annette. She knows what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, so I went and Googled popular funeral songs. Are you ready? There's a list.
I'm ready.
And unfortunately, I can't play them, so you're just going to have to hear them in your head. Robbie Williams in a song called Angels. Never heard of it. We'll put it on my Spotify and see what happens. Elton John's Candle in the Wind.
Know it.
It's only good if you're really, honestly, Marilyn Monroe or Princess Diana. Let It Be by the Beatles. See You Again by Wiz Khalifa. I don't know that Wiz Khalifa, a song like that. It's like Gangsta's Paradise. Could we play that at a funeral?
Yeah, you could.
Mama, was that? That song there. Someone Like You by Adele. Oh, Supermarket Flowers by Ed Sheeran. Puff Daddy and Faith Evans, and I'll Be Missing You, and Somewhere Over the Rainbow by Eva Cassidy. Or you could do the version by Is, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Is.
that's it. I mean, if you want to localize it.
Style,
There are others. My Way by Frank Sinatra. Diana Ross's You Are Everything. What a Wonderful World by Louis Armstrong. And I know she's still listening, and so I'm going to say it, and my big sister Shelley will say, yes, that's the song. That is the song for My Funeral, One Day in Your Life by Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Do you know the song?
I do.
You do? Okay.
I can sing it for you. Are you ready for it?
No, I don't. No, I don't. But you know, there's something to ponder. Maybe it's been a long time since you've done it. Is there a playlist? Is there a Spotify for your funeral? Start thinking about that. What songs do you want to
Highway
have
to
them
Hell.
play? If you don't, yes, otherwise you're going to get stuck with this crap. So you better start putting together your, Ray Gibson's ultimate funeral playlist, Real Joe's ultimate, funeral playlist. Otherwise, don't leave this to the people that you're going to leave behind, because it won't be all the cool jams that you're talking about. Moving in Stereo by the Cars, as an example, needs to be on mine. Go ahead, write it down, put it together, and we'll see if we can talk about this some more tomorrow. Or I'll find something else to talk about tomorrow. KUSG, I got you, 93.3. We are The Point for Real Joe. And Donna D and Jerry Roberts, I'd like to say thanks very much for listening. Last couple of seconds, and a reminder, we have been nominated for Best Radio Station. I've been nominated for Best Personality. If you've got some time today, swing by the PDN's website, and if you don't mind, give me a vote in both of those categories. That'd be much obliged. Stand by now. Fox News on The Point.
News. New York, one of several states where the governor's office is up for grabs. Challenger Republican Congressman Lee Zeldin says Democrats have been too soft on crime.
This is our opportunity.